G'day everybody, welcome back to the second series here in the VCS, an absolute hype series, DBL taking on Flash. As always, I'm Everyday, with me is Yulwei. What are we looking forward to in this one?
Yeah, it's first versus second. This should be very hype. I hope we don't see a blowout to either side. The first time we saw these two teams clash, we thought Flash was the favorite. They came in, absolutely stomped DBL in the first game, and then CBL won the series anyway. Since then, a lot has changed. Razor has looked very bad for DBLs. Flash even has a completely new top laner in Stark. So we get to see how both teams adapted to their losses against FTV. Both teams lost against the worst team, or the second worst team in the league.
Yeah, that's a weird one to have in common, to say the least. You very correctly pointed out there that Razor has looked really bad, especially in last night. He looked horrific. But Stark hasn't looked amazing either.
Nope.
So I feel like we'll have a bit of a weird one where top lane doesn't matter that much. I think it'll just sort of be a bit even. I don't think either team will focus around top lane.
Yeah, Stark should definitely be able to withstand the pressure from Razor. Could possibly see a world where DBL tries to play around Razor, get him back to comfortable. They played around him a lot in the early stages of this split. Then they moved to bot lane, and bot lane performs way better now. They were slumping a little bit, so focus shifted a lot from DBL, from top side to bottom side, but Razor really needs to step up. We could also see Kaido come in. Kaido, the new top laner, the trainee top laner for DBL, was picked up when he was not eligible to play because of age. He turned 17 yesterday, so he could play today. Razor didn't look great yesterday, as you said before. Do you think we'll see him?
I definitely think it's possible. I think if you were ever going to sub someone out for a performance, the way Razor played yesterday definitely warrants it.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. We were
I
very
mean, but,
disappointed with
but
his
then
wave
again,
management,
would
especially.
you do you really want to debut someone against Flash? That's a bit of a trial by fire, right?
That's true, but it's not against Gum. Like, at least you have to play against Stark and not against Yoshino or Zeros, right? Because that would be a little bit rough. Coming in,
Yeah, that'd be
first game of the series. Here, play against the two bottom top lane, best top laners. I'm sorry, on the league. Have fun.
yeah, that's not a good time.
Yeah, this one should be a very intriguing one to watch. Flash in the last few series has struggled to win the first game. They've looked very bad in the first games. I have no idea what actually happened to them. For some reason, they always step up in game 2 and 3. They actually got punished for losing first game against FTV though, as they lost game 3 and lost the series.
Yeah.
So, do you think we'll see a little bit of a better performance in game 1 from Team Flash? Or will they once again just get rolled in the first game and then step up?
Yeah, you would hope they step up in game ones. You can't keep doing this, lose game one but win the second two, especially against DBL, who's a team that you're not guaranteed to take games off them. So if you lose game one, you're just screwing yourself out of a safety net. So I do really hope we see Flash stepping up, but I can't say that I expect them to because they haven't shown the capability yet.
Yeah, the last few series have all been 3 game series. So, it has been a long time since Flash has 2-0'd someone or gotten 2-0'd. I'm not actually sure if they lost 2-0 this season already. Yeah, I think they lost to Loki 0-2. Should Yeah, I think that was their only loss. If you just look at the game records of these two teams, it's actually not looking that great for them. 15 and 9
Yep.
for DBL, 15 and 10 for Flash. In the Western region, that wouldn't actually be that great a record. Probably fourth, third, fourth. But we play best of threes here, so we get to see many games, and DBL is sitting at a 7-2 record when it comes to best of three, still in first place.
Yep. And here we go into champion select here. It'll be interesting to see what gets taken out, what the priorities are here. I hope we don't see bans wasted on Slater's Kaiser.
Oh man, we're gonna see
Uh,
them. No, actually, I think Dashing Buffalo is the best drafting team in the league. So
yeah.
if we expect anything from drafts and VCS, I think the Dashing Buffalo is the team to look at. They were the fastest to adapt to Sonateric. Biko was one of the first Kaisers to pick up the new builds. I think their drafts have looked pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully they can keep that up.
This
Looking at the bands though,
Yumi
it's
ban.
a little bit tier list. I mean, Yumi's just a strong support, right? Get rid of her.
Yumi ban against Palette is interesting. Palette has actually not favored Lux too much, so banning Yumi away from him does make a lot of sense. And Team Flash
Yep.
might try to get the Lux from themselves, even though they are on red side, and usually red side has to ban Lux because she's first pick. So let's see. They
Yeah,
leave
we'll
open
have
the
to
Lux.
see.
Oh, nope. She's out.
Yep, banning the double enchanter support, not going to take the risk of Palette just saying, oh, well, tier list, tier list. And J4 is the immediate lock-in. Very strong pick for Meliodas there. We know how much he likes that one.
Yeah, most played and probably best champ as well for Meliodas. Very solid first pick. We have seen a lot of J4 priority in the last few days. He has risen back to first pick territory, or first, at least first rotation territory for most of the VCS teams, and a lot of VCS junglers now have J4 as their most played champ. In fact, Meliodas has already played him 6 times. Legion actually not that much of a J4 guy, only played him twice. He likes to play
He's
his
mostly...
Gragas. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about Ezreal in first rotation.
Sets up the Corki. I would definitely expect Corki now. This already looks like a late game draft for Flash, with a strong mid game spike and double Trinity or Sheen power spike into late game transition and double ADC is what I would expect from this draft. If Dashing Buffalo reads it as well, they could pick away the Corki. I think Corki for all very strong as well.
Absolutely. Does look like they want to answer the AD pick here with a Xayah. Fairly decent into Ezreal. She should have lane pressure, especially if she has a decent support.
Oh,
What?
the flash from
Well, this is...
Draven. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
because
obviously not
Slater.
getting locked in. It's a
Slater
slated
had an
taunt.
insane Draven game. 18, 2, and
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, you'd think Flash would be the ones hovering Draven, considering it's not like he played badly on it. He
Yeah, there it
played very,
is.
very well. And yep, the Corki that you very correctly predicted. But it is a strong bot lane, I should say, here for Dashing Buffalo. With that Lover's Lane, we could potentially see them trying to play around it.
And I think you can get ready to scream a lot this game, because this is already looking like a lot of team fighting coming in from both teams.
Oh, yeah.
Great engages, especially on Dashing Buffalo's side. A little bit more of the standard, a little bit more of the timeless composition. This looks a lot like something G2 would draft in spring. Zyra Khan and a strong jungler that can engage. So this
Yep,
is
absolutely.
draft.
And it's going to be on. It's going to be on Flash to fend this off. I like the Tom Kench ban out of DBL, making it much harder to fend off the aggression. We know what Tom Kench can do to engages. Just press W and suddenly the engage doesn't exist anymore. Super fun.
It's actually pretty hard for a Flash now to pick up a good support for the Ezreal. You don't want to go Ezreal Braum. They don't really have a whole lot of synergy. Would give you a lot of team fighting though. And Braum and Corki are still good together in the late game.
Morgana's open. That helps against a lot of the CC.
I think they want another front line though. And there's the Braum ban actually. Interesting.
Taken out. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty good read that it would have been good for the 5-man comp. Ezreal's pretty self-sufficient after all, if he doesn't need to win lane.
This would be super late game. Probably the strongest tank late game support.
Yeah,
very weak
maybe
in lane though.
Alistair.
You think so? No, I think in full 5v5. This one definitely is not the strongest support.
VCS! Why?
This gives them a little bit more lane presence and a stronger mid game, especially fights around Dragon with strong roams or strong rotational plays from Galio can come in now. An interesting pick. Will fall off
What does
pretty
Galio-
significantly later on.
What does Galio do that Nautilus doesn't?
Yeah, I agree. I think Nautilus is the better pick here. Galio is a
Like,
little
it's
bit of a
not
weird
ideal.
one in the VCS. Oh, ooh, no, get out.
Ooh.
Get out.
Neven? Hello, Neven? This is just for having fun, obviously.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Wait,
and the
what
Lucian will be
just
the one.
happened?
What? Lucian mid.
Yeah, they saw the double ADC and just locked in double ADC for themselves as well. This is actually an old counter pick into Corki. Lucian will
Yeah.
win the 1v1 in lane pretty heavily.
Yeah.
The trading
Not even
patterns are
close.
way better.
Yeah, no question. I really have to question this Galio pick. I don't know why the VCS defaults to Galio. When they're like, oh, we don't really know what support to pick. I mean, Morgana was open. I think Morgana was fine. I actually think Morgana was much better than Galio. I basically think
Nautilus
Galio
was the
was
best
pretty
one.
much the worst support in the game to pick at this point. What does he do? Alistair would have been better. Nautilus would have been better.
Galio gives more lane presence than Alistar. I think they didn't want to pick Alistar into Zaira Khan because you just can't defend against Zaira Khan with Ezreal Alistar. So I think Galio is better than Alistar in this. Yeah, Galio has more wave clear with Q.
Yes.
He does a little bit more in lane. I really hate what Flash has done with the last two picks. I think their team composition was super strong in the first round, and then they completely gave it away. Now I think the 5v5 advantage actually pretty heavily lies with the Vladimir team, because the other side has a Camille on the top lane, and what is she supposed to do in the 5v5?
Nothing. They just have to go full split push. I mean, maybe if they can farm Razor.
That has been an efficient strategy for other teams, so maybe it's possible.
Ever since he went back to his natural hair color, he's apparently just he sort of had the dye soak into his brain a little bit as well. So maybe they can just farm him, but I don't think Stark is who you want to play around.
I still don't really understand why they are not picking any kind of tank for Stark, or maybe a mage, a teamfight mage would be possible as well in this game. Why are they so heavily focused on picks like Camille, picks like Jace? He's played Jace, Camille, Nico Cannon, and Aatrox. Not a single tank yet, even though he's a great tank player, and tank in this draft would have been perfect. Double ADC with double frontline, triple frontline even. That would have fit the draft super well.
Yeah, you could have just gone Scion and it's been a big meatball, right? And just protected the ADCs. You don't need to do damage as a top laner in this comp.
What's going on?
Oh, and we get into game and Yijin's dead.
So sadly our overlay to get into the game, which looks very cool, it's a little bit long this time.
Yeah. I mean, normally it's just fine, because what happens in the first 45 seconds of a game, right? Hopefully we get a replay of what the hell just happened.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, they got spotted there.
Yijin?
Okay, Yijin just didn't... Oh, God,
Oh,
Yijin.
You can't
That's not a great start to the game. That's already a pretty big tilter for Yijin. No flash and still dies.
If you're gonna flash, you need to flash the Rakan double.
I mean, he was fine. He could have flashed the wall and was still fine. So either flash immediately or flash correctly. And another... Oh, I really like this play.
And they're just invading again. This is great. They know that there's no flash on Yijin. They have a massive advantage. So DBL, here to play.
Absolutely. Actually, my favorite play as a 5-man pre-mate, to use this blast cone.
Yep.
Now...
Just hard in that's why, like, I pop that blast cone a lot. But then again, I play it. So. Anyway, the fight is happening as it's unfolding. His TBL will be the first one to go down. Oh no, it's a double kill for Meliodas. 3-0 at 2 minutes. Can someone say bloodbath?
And we asked ourselves if we would see Flash perform in game 1. I think we can already lock down the game 1 for
Oh
DBL.
no,
Let's go.
dead.
Oh my god, this game is over.
Remake? Hello? Guys,
Yijin did not connect, guys. Yijin did not connect. Please remake the game.
This script's pointless. Just remake.
Oh my
This is...
What a mess. Optimus gets the blue buff
Oh.
there. Very good.
Yep.
Oh, I really like Palette's Grakan play here. Meliodas gets all the kills, gets the blue buff in the end, even though it got stolen away from him. So now he gets 3 buffs anyway. He's level 1 with 2-0 and a complete jungle
How-
item. That's great.
Look, oh my god! He's got a red smite at 2 minutes!
Yeah, he was level 1 with a full jungle item. That's great.
So, look, I'm gonna go ahead and say maybe Yijin can't contest Scuttles.
Yeah,
Just an idea.
very,
I mean,
very probable. Look at Yijin's HP.
Yijin has to be...
My god, he will lose all buffs. He'll get 4
Yeah.
buffed in this game. Meliodas, just
I
take
mean,
the buff.
no, he's just getting rid of the blast cone, just slowing him down even more. Meliodas has come into this game and said, you know, I just hate Yijin, just as a person. I'm gonna ruin his life. I'm gonna make him not want to play League of Legends anymore.
Oh my
Like, now he's
god,
waiting
Yijin
for
will
him.
just die again.
Yeah, he will.
Maybe.
If he, I mean, wise of him just to not bother going near his buff. He's either reading that Meliodas is still there, or that Meliodas will be taking it, and you can't challenge Meliodas.
At least he
This
secured his
Jarvan.
Krug camp.
Woo, he got a camp. Woo.
He didn't get anything else. He's actually even in
I know.
CS.
Yeah. Stark in some trouble now, because here's the big boy Jarvan, but
He's
thankfully
still level
Camille...
2 though. Even though you say big boy Jarvan, he's still level 2.
He's got a full jungle item.
I mean, that's true, but it doesn't really give you
Level-
combat stats, right?
Well, to be fair though, what was level 3 gonna change? Like, wow, you got your W. Who cares, right? Either the EQ hit or the EQ didn't hit.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He still has his blue buff to take. And this complete... Look at all the jungle camps available to Meliodas. Just take your jungle. Please stop with the...
You don't need... He's dead! He's already dead! Okay, clear out the vision.
By the way, this is why Meliodas is not a good Karthus. He's
Yeah.
playing like Mowgli from Vitality. He's way too in your face. He always wants to invade. Just take your free camps. There are 5 camps available to him. He can just take 5 camps. That's 20 CS. That's a lot of money. And probably level 6. Or maybe level 5. By the way,
Yeah, he...
bot
Oh,
lane just died again.
DBL's dead. So
Meliodas,
there was...
please stop with this mess.
I don't know if you were following it, but there was a prediction made in the English VCS Discord that this series would have 100 kills in it.
Yeah, I saw the prediction.
I thought, you know, maybe we could have a pretty back and forth bit of a bloodbath. Apparently, that was only DBL's kills in game 1 because they're already 5-0 at 6 minutes.
Yeah, look at the goals. This is a 3k gold lead
Yeah.
in 5 minutes. This is a 15 FF if I've ever seen one. What did CBL do here? Wow.
Wow.
Just wow.
Palette's playing a nutty Rakan.
Yeah, they didn't
Can we
even
just
need the how is it called? Not fate call. Fate's call. Feather call? No. The
Zaya E.
Zaya E.
Zaya-
They didn't even use the Zaya E there to lock down the kill. Blade
Yeah, I think
Caller?
it is.
Blade
Blade Caller, that's it. It's
Yeah,
Blade
it's
Caller.
Blade Caller.
Yeah.
Meliodas finally got back to his jungle. I'm impressed. And he's actually behind in farm because he didn't bother to
Yeah, I
actually
mean,
take the
that,
farm.
that's actually, like, it's not going to matter because he is just so, absurdly far ahead.
Imagine
Really
Levi in
should
this
have cleared it.
situation.
Oh, Levi would just be sitting here going, yeah, game's over, guys.
This is by the,
Like,
the difference between Meliodas and Levi, by the way. Levi is a pathing jungler, where Meliodas just looks to facilitate his lanes and go for kills. Levi would have probably not gotten the early kills, to be fair, to Meliodas, because he always looks for opportunities. But Levi would definitely be level 6 by now, because he is an insanely efficient pathing jungler. That's why he's
Absolutely,
this great on Karthus.
Yeah, but part of what makes junglers really excellent is Meliodas, he is used to playing the role of facilitating his team, making sure his team is doing well, etc. But you have to be able to recognize, wait a minute, I'm 2-0 at 2 minutes. Screw facilitating my team. I'm just going to power farm, come out of the jungle at level 6 at 5 minutes and kill
Yeah,
someone.
look at his camps. He is still not taking his raptors, still not taking his Crux, and this is actually pretty detrimental because he didn't
Yeah.
reset the XP values, and now look at the level from Legion. He's already level 5. He has reset all his camps. His Crux are now level 5. That means he gets way more experience from his Crux. This is a pretty bad jungling if you just look at the 1v1 in the jungle. He's still obviously up in gold because he got 2 kills.
Yeah.
In terms
I
of
mean,
experience management and pathing, Meliodas is playing a pretty bad jungle path. At least he
like,
still
yeah,
got the Dragon, so will not.
absolutely. It seems a little bit counterproductive in that the best way for him to have really put the foot down on Yejin's throat was actually not to stay in Yejin's face. It was just go farm because
Yeah,
you're already so far ahead. Clear your jungle, then go to Yejin's jungle because then there's no catch up for
yeah,
it.
it sounds a little bit counterintuitive, but there was no camp available to Yijin anyway, so what are you going
Precisely.
to accomplish wasting his time? In fact, he's wasting your time because he does not have a place to go on the map, while you definitely have one. So in fact,
Yep.
Yijin outplayed Meliodas, with Meliodas outplaying himself because Meliodas thought he had to go for the invades, had to chase Yijin off of camps, but there were no camps, so Yijin was absolutely fine, just waiting a few minutes, waiting for his respawns. Now he's ahead in experience.
Yeah, and we do have a bit of a pause here. I think one of the Flash players might be just faking a bit of a illness. Say, oh, I'm just sick. Can we just remake? Just
Do you
start again.
really want to
Sorry.
prolong this game as Flash?
No, absolutely not. You definitely, obviously, that is a joke. I'm sure
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
an actual team.
Yeah, it's
There's no
probably
way
fake
they're
actually.
faking anything. Um,
Yeah, this
does
is a game
remind
where
me.
you see a minor bug happening to you, and you're like, it will not change anything. Let's just roll it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
exactly.
Why waste
At
10
this
more
point,
minutes in this game? We are behind 3.5k at 5 minutes. This game
I think
is pretty
the
over.
uh, the, Dis- the Discord has the correct analysis saying, "Oh, guys, there's a bug that made me pick Galio. Can we remake?" I didn't mean to. Galio's the bug.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
Slay has completely fooled all the other supports into thinking, yeah, or baited them into thinking Galio is actually a good support because he's a great Galio.
maybe that's like the 2000 IQ play. You
Play
make everyone
Galio
else
twice so everyone thinks Galio is OP and then never play him again.
yeah, and then everyone else plays Galio. It just feeds their asses off because Galio's terrible.
Oh, that was a
Oh,
very short resume.
yep. We saw one minion die. Truly high octane League of Legends.
Maybe they tried to test something for that. What could it be? That's a very
Interesting.
curious thing to happen.
Yeah, you can absolutely say that again.
There was this one game, if you think back to bugs that actually caused remakes, in Worlds 2015? Yeah, 2015, was EDG against Fnatic. They always play against each other for some reason. And Fnatic in the first game picked Gragas. And the Gragas, something happened with the Gragas. He lost his Q for
I
some
remember.
reason.
Yeah, I seem to remember that.
He could not queue any. It was a very curious bug, and they tried everything to get the game back rolling. They even tried. They gave the Gragas time to run into an enemy tower to execute himself. They tried if that worked. Obviously, there was no
Yeah,
chrono break
yeah.
in
It's before they
2015.
had this. I mean, the chrono break system is actually just absurd. How perfect it is. I still think my favorite. I mean, I think the most like the most bad one was when it was M5. They might have been Gambit at the time. I'm not sure, but it was that team. I don't remember who they were playing against, but they had Aatrox on their team, and this was old Trox when he was just about the 3 hits, like before his 3
I
worked.
really like Ultrox. Ultrox is
I
great.
like it. Yeah. And Gambit or M5, whichever one they were at the time, won the game. The game was over, and then about 20 minutes later, they came on broadcast and said, we have to replay that game because the opponent, I don't remember who it was, reported that they felt something was wrong, but they weren't sure what during the game, so they couldn't tell an admin what they thought was wrong. And then they looked at the replay, and Aatrox was proccing every second auto attack.
He just had a modern Rage Blade. I mean, it's not that hard to solve.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He just had Rage Blade like 2 years before that item did what it did. And so they had to replay the game like after like 20 minutes after the game was over.
Oh, that's horrible. Gambit won anyway, right?
I think so, yeah.
I remember
That
one
would be
more very interesting story about a bug. It was Huhi playing his favorite champion, his most famous champion, Aurelion Sol. Oh, never mind. We go back into the game. No, it's just a replay.
Is that the one where his stars didn't work? Like it was against TSS.
I'll come back to it in a few seconds, but let's look at this game first. What happened here exactly? Yeah. Flash.
I mean, we've seen this replay. They're just replaying it.
I mean, we can look at it again. Optimus is now here. So Null comes from the corner. And it actually doesn't really look that bad for Flash, but CBL does not hit his Flash taunt. That's pretty bad, because he immediately dies. There's no way to trigger his Aftershock. She's actually a very, very squishy gargoyle. Just goes down. So that turns the fight around in favor of DBL once again.
I hope they weren't showing that replay to say that was bugged.
No. That
would be bad.
That would be a little bit late.
Be very late.
No, there was no bug I spotted.
I didn't see any bug. That looked normal to me.
Could imagine CBL reported his taunt did not come last game.
I mean,
thank God Bloody is that next patch. Indeed.
Praise be. Break the gargoyle.
Yeah, so to come back to the very funny bug that happened, I think 2 years ago in LCS, maybe it was 1.5 years ago.
I know the one you're talking about.
Aurelion Sol board a Banshee's Whale, and then something very curious happened in the game. He used his E ability. So if you don't know Aurelion Sol, his E is where he can float over everything and ignores walls and collision and everything. And he floated around into the enemy team and just went... he just went through everyone and died immediately. And everyone was wondering, what was Hui doing? And then there was an investigation, and turned out the Banshee's Whale and the E proc, or the E from the Aurelion Sol, were bugged, so that Aurelion Sol was not able to cancel his E when the Banshee's Whale was procced while the E was active. So it was just... He was just floating into his death without being able to do anything about it. It was very, very weird.
Truly terrifying, right? Just, no! I mean, look, one of the big things that esports has that obviously traditional sports don't have is bugs, right? Some of them are so much fun. And I think we are back in the game, though, so we don't need to keep talking about the history of bugs. Yeah, this is live, so
Definitely
hopefully whatever that was involved.
Once in a while, it's interesting to talk about those, because they can be very, very funny. Sometimes they can be very detrimental and horrible for the teams, but in hindsight, most of them are very funny.
In some games, not so much League, but in some games, they've shaped players' careers. Like, Olaf Meister went from being one of the most fan-loved players in Counter-Strike to almost universally hated because of a bug.
That's not great. He abused the back, I suppose.
Yes, he abused it for 14 rounds of a game, but technically he didn't break any rules. But I won't go into that. It's a quite a long story. Something we can talk about if there's another.
If we get another pause, we can go there again. But now let's go back into this game. Look at the turret platings in the bot lane. DBL's bot lane once again showing up. They have looked great in the last few series. As bad as Razor has looked for DBL, their bot lane is back to MSI form and is dominating everyone.
Absolutely, and I mean, I have to give mad shout-outs to Paulette so far. Big Coro, not to say that he's played badly or anything like that, but he has sort of just been riding the coattails of his husband here. This has been a really good Rakan game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Meliodas! That was a bit spicy.
What's going on, Paulette?
Want to re-engage. Paulette's throwing himself forward. He has the
That's what I like to see.
Running.
A little bit of
Hello, Adam.
Hillsong here coming out of Paulette. It's Aftershock Rakan. Aftershock Rakan is a very new one. We have not actually seen too much Aftershock Rakan the first time he was in meta. He has now been in meta for 2 straight years, so this is a new development for the Rakan. It actually gives him the opportunity to go for a more squishy build and still be tanky. It's a little bit like Aftershock Lux, not as strong in lane, still very, very strong in team fights. And Rakan has some of the most extreme AP scalings on his abilities. His shield, his passive shield, scales 0.9, and his E shield is 0.7 twice. So he has insane AP scalings.
Yep. Oh, he's just going over the wall straight onto Yijin. This is bullying. It's not going to work out this time because Null's just going to get 1v3'd. But Paulette is just absolutely carving up the map. And look at Big Koro in his absence. He's just going to take top lane tower. He got 5 plates and first tower. This is an absolute gutting.
Gallia's like, oh yeah, Ezreal, you're fine 1v2, right? And is sitting there saying, no, I'm
Paulette's
not.
going again!
And he forced out another ultimate. This is a great Rakan performance.
This is amazing. This is so much fun to watch. Rakan is one of those champions that just the way his animations are and that, he's so much fun.
By the
to
way,
play and to win. I really like
it. If you want to pick up support, go for Rakan. He's probably the most fun champ in the game, for me at least. When he came out, I just straight up played him, I don't know, 50 games in a row or something. He went from coming out to immediately being top 2 in my mastery.
Yep.
I absolutely love Rakan. I think he's so much fun to play. He has fair counterpoints for the enemy team, but you can make so much stuff happen.
To put it another way for anyone that might need convincing is Null and Optimus trade out there. Actually didn't go as well as you might think it would for Null. I don't like supporting. I never support. But I picked up Rakan, and for like 4 months, I was almost a support main because me and my duo just played Zyra Khan because it was fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Because that combo is so much fun.
It's fun all throughout the game. It's interesting in lane.
Yeah.
Some lanes are a little bit weird. But in the late game...
So could be in a bit of trouble here, but nope, goes into the puddle, and Galio, everybody.
Yeah, and look at the gold lead. It's at 6k. We've kind of talked about a few things in this game, because the game itself has not been the most interesting, or not the most close affair.
Rizo's in a lot of trouble, though.
At least they
Slater will get that one.
Get a kill on Rizo. But they have to be careful trading this turret, because there's no turret plating on inner turrets, so this one will fall way quicker than the outer turret in top lane.
I mean, I don't even know if the outer in top lane will go down. Stark manages to get himself out of there, really had to duck below that charming Rakan coming in.
Yeah, this is a change in Season 9. You can't go for this trade. This is something that teams have to adapt to, and we're in summer, so they should know about this new macro evolution. Trading outer turrets for inner turrets is, in fact, prior to minute 40, not possible anymore in 2019. Yep. Turret platings are too strong.
Yep, absolutely. And you might be sitting here if you've been watching from the start and go, hey, you know, it's a big gold lead, but we're a little ways in. Now, we had a pause. It's 13 minutes and 6k gold lead.
Yep, and double Mountain Drake, so we are back to the VCS special Drake, and Baron is very, very angry.
Yeah, Baron is, I don't think Baron wants to spawn.
No, it's double ADC and double Mountain Drake.
Yeah,
bye, Baron.
The Rift Herald's gone back to the Void after being killed and said, look, Dad, don't go out there today. You can't. You know, Baron's had to give like a really tear-soaked hug goodbye to his wife because he knows that 20 minutes is going to happen and DBL's going to kill him. Just instantly.
Yeah.
It's dead.
He'll probably not stay on the Rift too long. Looking at Flash's team, they actually have a great team to contest Baron and to prolong the Baron dance, especially from red side. Natural advantage in terms of defending the Baron.
They just get beaten to death with money.
Look at the damage from Zaya. This almost looking like Umajan in the bot lane.
Yeah. This is a very scary bird. This is a crow or something.
Yeah, it's still
there's not
6k gold.
there's not
It's
a
not a
huge
whole lot
amount to
to.
say. DB is so far ahead. It's just an absolute stomp.
Yeah, there's not really a whole lot Flash can do. They rely on their two Trinity forces to really do anything. Maybe if they force a fight at the exact moment the two Trinity forces are finished, could do something.
Picoro does get hit up there, but it doesn't matter. Meliodas throws himself forward. There's just no damage coming out from Flash. They're just getting cleaned up. CBL goes into the stopwatch, but Meliodas just
Oh
tanks it down with Picoro.
no!
Picoro!
I just wanted to
Does
comment on the very good turret tanking and turret juggling, and then Bikura did that.
Yeah, that wasn't very good.
Oh.
That still definitely didn't
But
need
the
to
rest of the
happen.
fight was played out very well. The
Yeah,
bot lane actually
excellent.
took aggro for a lot of time and gave Meliodas time to wreak havoc and use his ultimate. Because usually if you tower dive with the... Oh no!
Oh,
Rakan chill coming in.
look how much real health he's on.
Yeah, not a whole lot.
Oh,
Look at this
that
again.
was...
Cleanse.
Yep.
A very good,
nice
very
play.
good sidestep from Slater. He's still dead. So now look at the turret aggro. It's on Big Core right now. He takes 2 more shots. Meliodas all the time stays under turret with his ult. And yeah, the last little step forward was a little bit silly. A little bit of a bad communication showing, but whatever. In the end, it's a 4-0 J4.
It really doesn't
And I really
matter
want to
here.
give her 2 MVPs for this game, because there are 2 players who have played this game absolutely amazingly well.
I assume you mean Meliodas and Pallet.
Absolutely. At the moment, I'm leaning definitely leaning towards Pallet. I think he has made more
I am
stuff
because
happen.
of the decision that Meliodas made to not farm his angel. I actually think that was a really bad call.
Yeah, that's true.
He's obviously played incredibly well in every other part of this game. So
Yeah, pathing is not his strong suit. Overall, I think in all the games it
Oh,
shows.
Null gets caught out here. He's dead. Ooh, don't like the flash there, Null. You were donezo, mate.
Yeah. Ooh, Slater gets caught, but it's an Ezreal, so he should be fine.
Yep. Yeah, he's out of there.
And Flash has
And
found a few points. Oh, never mind.
Oh,
There's Meliodas.
hello, observers.
No, Yijin
Look at
approaching
the
is
actual
more
play.
important, please.
He's approaching. The tower goes down. Meliodas is in a lot of trouble. So is Pallet, actually. That's
I
actually
really
2
need
kills.
to learn this word. How is it pronounced? I really need to know. Because we see this a lot. The Chamdut, or whatever it is.
Yeah, we really need to say. Can someone who speaks Vietnamese that's watching tell us how to say shut down in Vietnamese, like the chum dut? Because that comes up a lot. And we could add a little bit of spice to our broadcast.
Look at the gold lead. It's shrunken to 4.5k. And 4.5k at 18 minutes is still a lot. But it was 6k at 13 minutes, so at least Flash claws their way back into the game a little bit. And Null is just super great gang from Legion. Bang on with the ult.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we are seeing DBL play a little bit arrogant, a little bit cocky.
Yeah, they like to play fast and loose. They have a lot of happy games. Meliodas, what was that standard thing?
I think he just wants to be able to get out. He was
Yeah,
setting
but
up
it
his
was a little
escape.
bit early. As you can see, it just
A little bit.
disappeared. It was a little bit foolish, whatever. Didn't really matter.
whatever.
Triple Trinity now finished for Flash, though. So if Yijin is able to land another great ult.
That's an aesthetically pleasing team.
On the other side, Big Koro on 2 big crit items, he can probably kill everyone.
Yeah, but I mean, for the ADCs, it actually is 2 items to 2 items. That's a transformed Muramana. Like, that's a thing.
Yeah, they are almost... Yeah, I think they are equally strong. Big Koro obviously strong at DPS and single target damage probably, and Ezreal more utility, more mobility around the fight, so the longer the fight goes, the better the Ezreal can react to positioning and reposition, change his targets, and so on. Ezreal is a very strong ADC in teamfight still, even though his single target DPS is not as high as Zaya's because of the crit multiplier obviously not being there for him.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, yeah, Ezreal is just going to be just the artillery. And I mean, interestingly enough, with the way the game's been developing, with the catch up from Flash, even though obviously they are still very behind, it's actually going to be pretty hard for DBL to force Baron.
Yep, they need to lure the enemies into a sport or into a state where they think they can freely reset and then try to immediately burst Baron because their Baron speed is insane. Double ADC
Yeah,
with
double
Blade,
ADC
with
with
crits,
King
with the attack
Baron.
speed buff on standards as well from the J4. This is an insanely
Yep.
fast Baron.
And Zaya Rakan, which means that Rakan gets the attack speed buff. Yeah, Baron's going to die. Going to die real quick.
What do you think? How many seconds will he live if they 5-man Baron? Which is
They
very
five
unlikely,
man.
by the way, because Razor will probably a sideline anyway.
If they 5-manned it, I legitimately think it'll be about 8 seconds.
Yeah, probably. I think our
If
record
they,
right now is at 8 seconds. If we go to the
yeah.
late game in this game and another Mountain Drake spawns, I think we could go to something
Well,
like
the
5
engage
seconds.
coming in here. Paulette does well. Stops that Justice Punch from CBL. CBL taking so much damage, and he will be cleaned up. Sejuani ult just to do absolutely nothing
Very,
from
very bad
Yiji.
Sejuani ult infection, because now they could actually force Baron. Without the
Yeah,
Sejuani ult available,
absolutely.
this
There's
might
just
be a
no counter
possibility.
engage.
And they are already on the Baron.
And on Baron, he's going down pretty quickly. Not quite the 8 seconds because it's not 5 of them and they are a little bit distracted. Here comes the teleport. Stark and Razor are going to be joining their teams.
Ooh, that
Yijin wants
was
to go over the wall but got denied and he goes down. Baron will be secured here for DBL. Razor's in the back line, does get cleaned up before that Hemo play can pop. Null now locked in the Hextech ultimatum, but it doesn't matter. He's got support from his team. Goodbye, Flash. You really were a flash in the pan in this one and you're gone. This game has minutes left in it.
And once again, Palette with a super great outplay on the Rakan. He has been on top.
Yeah,
That was
so
a super good deny on Yijin's entrance there. No flash available, no ult for Yijin, no vision either for them. Pretty easy Baron secure and very clean from DBL in my opinion. They did everything right there. Looked for one pick, immediately transitioned it into Baron, no hesitation at all. This is what a top team looks like. A very good first game from DBL, even though it's a little bit.
I mean, they've been screwing around a little bit.
Yeah, the early game was. That's not a normal game, right? The early game
No,
went better
that's
than you could
not
ever
good.
imagine.
Yeah,
But you
that's
still have to
not
play
going to
out the
happen.
game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the early game went ridiculously well. And yeah, that doesn't happen all the time, but they still made the plays to enable that to happen.
Look at
And,
this
you know,
now.
Paulette did ridiculously well. This is so good. Watch Paulette here, everyone at home. Oh,
I'm not even
beautiful.
sure why the interaction worked like that. It's a little bit strange, but a very good awareness from Palette.
So, I mean, Flash has to be thinking about next game already. Like, this game is pretty much locked out. They pretty much have no chance unless DBL
Stark,
just
what are you doing here?
absolutely ends. Stark, you can't fight this. Has to flash away, but there's the EQ to follow. I don't even think you could 1v1 Meliodas Stark. So,
Yeah.
him having backup, yeah.
What was Stark doing there? That was a little bit curious. Whatever. As we said, this game is probably very over. There's another Infernal Drake, in fact, spawning
Oh,
for DBL.
God.
So this first
So,
turn will not translate into too many objectives, because they know that they have the time to scale into the later stages. They have a Vladimir, they have a super strong Zarya, and not so useful
you don't want to
Lucian,
go
if he still
too
has a few
late.
items.
Yeah, you don't want to go too late, because it is still a corky. I think they'll be ending this very much before 30.
There, Palette goes
And there's
again.
Yeah, Paulette goes again. The Galio ult doing basically nothing. This Galio pick has been absolutely atrocious. We criticised it in Champion Slate, and we are being vindicated. Now, this will be the first in here going down. How does Flash even play this out? Surely they
They
just lose.
press enter, slash,
And then,
FF, and enter again.
yeah, pretty much. And then you go shift and you press enter at the same time and you say JG diff. GG.
Indeed. Did you know that you can also type concede or surrender and get the surrender vote?
For the first probably for like the 70% of the time I played League, I always type /surrender. I didn't know /FF was a thing.
Seriously? Interesting.
I didn't know it was a thing. I only learned about it like maybe 2 years.
I
3 years
started
ago.
out pressing escape and then clicking on the
Back to
surrender button.
yeah, no, I was always fully typing out /surrender, but I used to play. One of my best friends in high school was one of those. Doesn't matter if we're down 30,000 gold, never surrender.
I
So
mean,
I
in
did.
2019, I think it's actually legit to think that way, especially in solo queue.
This
Because,
was about 2012.
yeah, that's true. The game was. I mean, you just had
It
to
was a
pick
little
Anivia and then you could solve for 60 minutes every game, because 2012
true.
meta was a mess.
It was a joke. Melioda's a little bit caught out here. Does have a GA though, if he even gets knocked into it with
Look
Palette
at the
just
razor stamp.
flying through the enemy team. Rizo doing very, very well as well at the back. Slater will be taken down by the Vampire. Big Koro picks up a kill on the Galio. Really just beating the kid in the wheelchair. Not much fun for the Galio.
Yeah, this should be the end. 26 minutes, we have a 30-second timer on Slater, 25 on CBL. Maybe not enough to end the game right now. There's a super minion wave approaching in bot lane, but this wave will need another 30 seconds to hit the Nexus. They get a kill on Legion, this game's over.
Yep.
He gets out. This game should still be over. Yeah. They're 2 super minions even, so they have a lot of tanking to going on for them. So first Nexus turret is dead.
Yep.
There's
And there's
nothing
just
Flash
no
can do,
contest really out of Flash. What can they do? Maybe DBL will back off just to play it super safe. I don't necessarily disagree with this, but this is just prolonging the bleed out.
Yeah, and once Razor hits his B button, there will be a big hat in his inventory afterwards. That's not a whole lot of fun for Slater.
Yeah, he's going to put on his robe and his wizard hat, and he's going to be a very, very scary boy.
And Slater already got one shot by the Vladimir in the last team fight, and now Vladimir is about 200 more AP in his pocket, so Slater needs to be very careful. Still has a flash available.
Yep.
And he's actually pretty strong. 3 items for Ezreal. It doesn't really matter because there are 4 items on all the enemies.
Exactly. Like Slater's actually had a decent game considering the circumstances, but it
all just
literally
casually
doesn't
started
matter.
Baron.
That was a little bit of a misclick. Almost did a bit of an even, but DBL will probably take this Baron just because it's free and it just locks them out.
Yijin, why are you wasting your ult again? Oh my god.
Also, what was the angle on that?
The wall is very, very bad. The wall is...
God, Yijin, just pick Gragas, man.
Yeah, this
You're
has
really
not
good
been the greatest Sejuani performance ever. And we've seen a very bad Sejuani in the first series as well. So Sejuani today seems to not be the best pick in the VCS. There's Yijin again.
I mean, you can say
This
that again. Palette throwing himself forward, doing so much. He's basically on his own, but they've just got to put so much time into it. No, goes into the stopwatch now, has his friend Rizo to back him up.
Stole the Baron.
Palette. Oh my god, there was also a Baron steal. We completely missed that, but it might not even matter as it does look like Flash will still be able to win the fight. The Nexus turrets are down. They managed to use the Baron recall. What just happened?
So we just criticized Yijin, and now he flashes on the wall and smites away the Baron. Nicely done. He still goes down 0-5 and 6, but Baron Stealer now in his statistic.
Yeah, MVP secured.
Yeah, we have to see a replay on the Baron, because we were focused on Palette, and Palette danced around the backline. This time he was not able to deny the entrance of Yijin, so Yijin got in there. I think Melios could have probably thwarted the contest as well. Let's look at what he did in this fight.
I have to say, let's have a look at Yijin.
They had too many of the Barons, so Melios is actually pretty low from this. He's taking 20% extra damage from the spikes as well. Melios has to be very careful. Look at this. Does he actually smite?
He's gonna go into GA. Oh no, it's just Yijin just beat him. Yeah.
Yep.
That's why you don't
just
two
a Baron steal. Like, not a whole lot to say. Very nicely done.
Yep.
And now,
Needed to
once
see a
again,
little bit
has DBL actually toyed too much with its food?
I wouldn't go that far
No,
yet.
no,
There's still
I wouldn't
6k
go that far
up.
either. Ooh, Velios
No
gets caught
Nexus
though.
turret. Ooh, that's finally a good Sejuani ult. Yijin might finally be feeling a little bit better. But they back off, and that's a real big Rakan. Ooh, Null's dead. This isn't great. Oh, look at the damage out of Big Koro, though. That ult and then the E just doing so much. But can
Everyone
they
is
actually
golden.
clean up Yijin will be the one going down, and here we go. Big Koro, it's your time to shine, son. Get those
Ooh,
feathers
the
out there.
sidestep.
You can clean it up. The triple kill is picked up. Slater has to run away on his heels as Big Koro absolutely carried that fight.
Absolutely everyone used stopwatches in the fight. Look at the stopwatches in inventory. At least 5 were used. That was a hilarious fight. Everyone went golden at the same time. And in the end,
Yep.
Big Koro with his 90% crit rate was the victor of the fight. Did you see his very slick sidestep against Slater?
Slater can go forward here.
Yeah, Slater
He probably
still
can't
strong.
catch Meliodas, but Meliodas is very low. What's the cooldown on the True Shot Barrage? It's ages, but he should be able to get the E. He's going to kill Meliodas. He's going to kill him, though.
Nope.
Oh, God, you got it. Okay, you have to hit the Q, dude. Okay, he gets him in the
hit
end.
a single Q. Was just E,
That
E,
was
E
not
to
great.
kill him. And in the end, DBL overextends once again, but they got a lot of stopwatches out of Flash, so now the front line from Flash doesn't have the stopwatches available. And Big Cool will probably hit 100% crit for the next fight, so Yijin, Stark, and Galio will melt.
This isn't really what you want to see out of DBL, though. Like, I understand you're so far ahead that you can screw around a little bit, but
they always struggle a little bit with closing out games.
Yeah. It's true.
So now look at what is Null doing?
Null just he failed the dash over the wall. Big Koro does so much. Look at his Zaya in this fight.
Flash from Big Koro. Stopwatch. And he survives. Ooh, the Triumph came in clutch for Big Koro. While he was stopwatched, he got 200 HP back. And look at this, very good sidestep for him.
Very clean.
Big Koro showing up the last few weeks. We had a lot of criticism for Big Koro in the first week especially. He looked miles behind Slater, but now facing him in this game, the 2 AD carries put on a show. This is what we wanted to see from these two bot lanes. Early game definitely went over to DBL. CBL, with one of his worst games, he's usually very stable, very good as support player for Slater. This game definitely outperformed by Palette.
Yeah, absolutely. We do need to see... I mean, this game is still 95% of the time that DBL cleans this one up.
By the way, we have hit a third of our 100 kills in the first game, of possible 3, so on track for our 100 kills. 33 kills secured. Razor is very strong still, but he doesn't have any penetration. Needs one more item to really hit the late game stage, and he wants Zhonya's for the next team fight.
Yep, and we see Yijin wasting another ult here. This is... Not sure how I feel about this Sejuani performance. Obviously did steal Baron, which might have kept them in the game, but still a very, very long mountain to climb.
And the gold is only 4k now, but you obviously have to look at the dragons as well. 2 Infernal Drakes. That's 17% enhanced stats, so especially the Vladimir is profiting a lot.
Oh yeah, I mean with the way the Drake RNG's gone this game, this is just an absolute... so difficult for Flash to come back into this.
Now Dragon Timer is hurting DBL a lot, because the next one will be Cloud in 3 seconds, so they're still...
I actually think they should have delayed their last Dragon kill. They wanted Elder.
Yeah, they really needed the Elder to get another objective on the map, to have more pressure points on the map, because right now the game is not that hard to play for Flash. DBL can't really split push, because there's no long lane available to them, only inhibitors, and Vladimir is pretty bad at killing those.
Yeah.
Baron,
you can say that.
Contesting Baron from red side is not that hard, and there's no important dragon on the other side of the map.
Ooh, Ryzo caught out a bit here. Has to go into that pool. The Hemoplague will come in and clean him up as Meliodas has thrown himself forward, buying a lot of space. But Flash is not going down. They're not losing team fights that hard.
Nope. And
DBL.
Rezo tried to one-shot Slater. This time not successful. He still needs probably 2 more items to continuously kill Slater in the backline. Slater does still not have any kind of MR. I'd like to see him go for a more as the last item. He does not really need a death cap in my opinion. He deals enough damage right now. He should go for more. Why are you doing this, Optimus? Why? Stop!
Stop. Don't give them the Elder
Oh
Dragon
my
timer.
God!
People need to think about
What
this.
did he just do?
What does Cloud Drake do for you?
Oh, that was a
Nothing.
very bad call from Optimus.
Optimus, come on, you need better decision making than that. That's such an obvious thing. Just Cloud Drake does nothing for us. Elder Dragon is a huge objective for them.
Yeah,
Why would you
sometimes
speed
we
it
talk about
up?
laziness in the VCS in terms of picks mostly, but this was another lazy call. Just go full instincts. There's a dragon on the map, I want the dragon. But he did not think about the Elder Dragon or about the timer either.
Baron's starting up here. He's going down really, really fast. Yinjin's just not going to be here in time, so DBL does secure that big worm.
It was less than 8 seconds, by the way.
Yep, that was absolutely ridiculous. Meliodas takes a lot of damage, but CBL taking even more. Optimus as well getting absolutely trucked out. Raizo is doing so much. Big Cora's already got the double kill. Optimus is going to res in the middle of the team, and this should be the end.
Wow. In the end, Buffalo was once again with a decisive call on the Baron. And by the way, you don't need the minion wave. There's no turret anymore. You can just walk into the base. Nice idea from Stark and Slater to delay the minion wave, but in this game they don't need the minion wave.
Nope, they absolutely don't. Palette nearly goes down, but it doesn't really matter. They're just going to walk
forwards.
in. Yeah, this is just this is over.
Yeah, finally
GG
DBL is
after
able
a
to clean up
messy
the
one.
game.
DBL gets game 1, 38 kills.
Yeah, we are on track for the 100. And I think Flash can actually be very, very happy with this game, because after 4 minutes it looked like the game would probably end in 18 or 20 minutes, in G2 style. But DBL, with some oversteps, got caught here and there. Nice Baron steal from Yijin after atrocious Sejuani performance all over the game. So Flash just needs to regroup. They should probably go back to their drawing board and just ride on it. Don't die level 1, and then you're fine.
Yeah.
So.
Don't pick Galio as well.
Yeah, I know you hate your real Galio.
He didn't do anything. What did he do?
They actually lost lane very hard.
Yeah, it was just not good.
Not something you would expect from Slater on CBL too, because they have been one of the best bot lanes in the league. Losing this hard against the DBL bot lane is not a good sign for them.
I mean, Palette was playing out of his mind. Like,
you still want to give the MVP over to Palette?
It's a little bit harder to, because the game dragged out so long. I think at some point you have to start looking at Big Koro, right?
Exactly. Big Koro had an insane performance in the team fights. I actually think Big Koro is one of my front runners now. I still think Palette has had a very good early game.
Oh, absolutely. But I think the game went on and Palette cooled off a little bit, and I think in the end Big Koro was more important. If the game had ended 15 minutes beforehand when it should have ended, then yeah, Palette 100%, but it didn't.
Yeah,
so
it's a hard call to make, because they still secured the Baron with a very good contest from Palette. He had the mid lane roam.
But in the end, did that first Baron matter?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. If we just look at what decided the game, I think Bikoro was more instrumental for the team. I'm fine with giving it over to Bikoro again. His 6th MVP, now tying Artifact for first. But a big shout out to Palette, obviously, and Meliodas. Not for his pathing, but for his early decision making in terms of where to get the kills. Very interesting in Wade coming in and re-invading after you already get first blood. When are we ever seeing stuff like that? This is super interesting call from DBL. They got first blood and did not go back to their lanes. They just re-invaded and got 2 more kills.
Just absolutely absurd. I mean, surely we don't see anything resembling this in Game 2. We're just going to see a different game.
To reevaluate the drafts, I actually think Razor this time got away with his Vladimir pick. He looked a little bit weaker in the last few weeks. But this time the late games team fights looked very, very good from him. Stark, I once again question why you would put Stark on Camille. Just give him Poppy or Cyan, or try to play
Yeah,
around him and give him something like Renekton. Camille does not really fit anything Flash wants to do.
yeah.
Don't really understand Camille.
Stark is not your star. You don't want to play around Stark. I feel you want to play around Slater. So just put him on a
And
tank.
especially after the first round of the draft they had. They picked one of
Yeah,
the strongest first rounds you can ever imagine on 913. Was Ezreal, Sejuani, and Corki. Perfect late game setup, double ADC, mixed damage, super strong late game. And then you round out your comp with Galio support, that's garbage anyway. And then Camille top. What for? What is your win condition with a
makes
Camille?
sense.
It's so confusing.
Yeah, it's I don't know. We need to see better drafting from Flash around that top side. We need to see absolutely better play in the in the early game.
Yeah, bot lane has to step up, especially CBL. Maybe it's just the pick, maybe it's a little bit of play as well. He didn't look great on the Galio. And Yijin has to step up as well. Stark just needs to go on a champ that can have impact from behind or even from an even state, because Camille is supposed to be ahead and play from ahead and play side lanes. He was never able to do anything in the side lane.
Yep.
Just don't pick Camille again.
Yeah, please don't.
After this very exciting back and forth 38 kill game, we'll need to catch our breath, and we'll be back in 4 minutes and a little bit for the second game to see if Flash can challenge DBL, and we get to our third game to get our 100 kills for the series.
Yep, hopefully.
Welcome back, everyone, to game 2 of this super exciting series. First against second, DBL secures game 1 after the craziest early game we've seen, all split. I'm Yulwei with you to bring you game 2 and possibly game 3. We had 38 out of 100 kills every day. Do we get the 100? Are we on track?
I'm going to throw my hat in the ring and say that we do, just so that I look really cool if we do.
And we already had our Baron record shattered in the last game. I think
Yeah,
I have to go back and
absolutely.
look at how many seconds it took for them, but probably
It's
something
about
like
3.
4. Yeah,
Yeah.
3, 4. And it
3 or
just
4.
read that Big Co was a Draven OTP one time. Ooh, I want to see the Draven game from him. And Big Co gets the official MVP. Very
Yep,
well
I still
deserved.
think.
Look at the
Yeah,
damage
again,
there.
I think. Yeah, again, I do think. What was his defense per minute, though?
Probably atrocious, right? He's an ADC.
Probably. I mean, but we don't know what it means, so.
That's true.
For all we know, ADCs have fantastic defense per minute.
That was one of the weirdest stats we've ever seen. Defense per minute 800. What even can that be? It's like I still have no idea what that statistic means.
If the number was lower, then it was just tank. But you're not taking 800 damage a minute in a good game, right?
Yeah,
Like,
he actually
that's not
didn't die
happening.
too much in the game. He got the
Yeah,
defense
exactly.
per minute
There's no
stat.
way.
I
There's no way he was
still
taking
have no
800.
idea what the statistic is.
I genuinely have no idea. I'd love to get a check-in on both of these teams. How many Cloud Drakes they're taking? Because obviously individual Drakes are also a very important statistic.
We definitely
We
got the
did say
boost to
one.
the Mountain Drake statistic for DBL in
I
the
mean,
first game.
we got the worst Cloud Drake in existence as well.
Yeah,
Thankfully, it didn't end up mattering because the game ended before its impact. But Optimus, when you can't take Elder Dragon, you actually don't want it to spawn.
yeah, I mean, VCS is in a weird sport right now internationally. Sometimes we see the VCS teams play and we think, wow, they are so good. The individual players look like they're top tier material. They can reach Korean Challenger. And then we see Reizo mismanages Wave and Optimus taking the Cloud Drake for absolutely no
I mean,
reason. And we get reminded they are
good
minor region
teams,
in the end.
even good teams from major regions, every now and then just don't think about
Yeah,
what
that's
taking
fair.
a dragon on
That's
map
absolutely
means.
fair.
Sometimes they just go dragon on map, meat take. Like they just go full caveman.
Where do you
And they
think
kill
Dashing
the
Buffalo
dragon.
would slot in a Team Flash even if they were to play in the LEC or LCS?
LCS, I actually think they could be a mid-tier team.
At least, I
because-
think DBL could challenge
Yeah.
for definitely. They would be a playoff team for sure.
Yeah, they'd be in the bottom end of the playoffs, I think.
Right now, with how TSM looks, they could probably challenge for fourth, maybe even third.
The big thing with major regions, and I do include the LCS in this, even though the LCS is in a bit of a shambles, is that due to the amount of money those teams have, they just have better coaching.
Yeah, it's very true. I think Gum actually would definitely challenge for
Gum
third.
is an exception to that. Yeah, Gum could challenge for third because I think Gum has really good coaching from what we've seen. I think in terms of just player skill, yeah, DBL could be the third or fourth best team in NA, but you're going to get caught out if your coaching's just not on point. And sometimes we do see that the VCS fails that. That's just the curse of a minor region. Don't have as much money.
Yeah, especially Vietnam is struggling a little bit with the money on the money department.
Yeah, we have a team
I
that
think the
doesn't have a
only
sponsor.
region without a single import. Of course, there's just no incentive to go to Vietnam. You don't make
Why
as
would you
much
go to
money.
Vietnam? Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the language
interesting.
barrier is actually very big for especially Koreans as well. Korean, Vietnamese, I should say,
Yeah,
are not
like
too similar.
Westerners-
So.
Yeah, Westerners don't want to go either. Again, not because of anything. Obviously, Vietnam's a lovely country, but you don't make enough money, and the language is very difficult for Westerners to learn. So it's rough. It's a real rough situation. Even the OPL does better with the imports. And
But
the
at least
OPL
they have a big player base and can rely on
Yeah,
talents
exactly.
to
Yeah,
come up.
I mean, they've got good players, right? Like, there are some
Absolutely.
very good players in the VCS.
There's a
I don't
reason
want to.
Vietnam has continuously outperformed, for example, the TCL, who is half Korean, if you look at the player base. Because the Vietnamese player base is just so much bigger, so many big talented players. and very interesting playstyles as well. But we should go into the draft because it has already
We
started.
should. That it has. It's been pretty standard so far. The bans, not too many changes there. The Jarvan did get banned because Dash Buffalo didn't think they'd be able to pick it up. Meliodas, actually, sorry, taking away the Gragas as well. So we're going to see what Yijin wants to play.
Not Sejuani, hopefully.
Not Sejuani, please.
Now, J4 is banned out. This is an interesting adaptation. Olaf against Meliodas and J4 against Yijin banned out. Meliodas is probably better on both champs, so I really like this Gragas pick away. And I also like this adaptation for Slater, picking away the Zarya after Bikoro had an absolute pop-off performance. And the Zarya pick is also kind of... Okay, now they pick up the Rakan anyway. I wanted to touch on the Rakan not being as high priority without the Zarya. Even though on 9.14 he's probably the #1 support again.
Yep. I mean, I think there was a pretty good chance of Paulette picking the Rakan to deny the Lovers lane. Also, just considering how well he played last game. Sorry, I'll just go and do not disturb. Getting a little bit spam. So overall, I don't necessarily hate that pick. The Kaiser being picked up for Big Koro, I mean, it's the VCS, right? We're always
Big Koro is one of our Kaiser players who likes to build the best Kaiser build, so I can accept the Kaiser pick.
Yep, I'm definitely not complaining. We might not even
talk a little bit about the top lane pool right now, because Aatrox's first pick is a very interesting one for Stark. I actually like it, because I'd like to see Stark on full tank, but Aatrox is a good adaptation, because at least he's a very capable team fighter. And now Team Flash's team comp already looks like very strong mid-game to late-game team fighting, very strong team comp all around. Maybe not in the first 10 minutes of the game, but from 10 to 40 minutes, this team comp already looks very strong.
Yeah, absolutely they do. It can be interesting what they pick in the top lane for DBL. I mean, do they send the Irelia into the Aatrox? Probably.
Yeah, and then Razor once again pushes out and gets freezed on.
I don't think that'll happen against Stark.
And yeah, probably not against the non-Renekton, because he could probably just brute force the wave into the turret against an Aatrox as Irelia. Yeah, exactly. Razor, let's look at the tapes. He has played Irelia 3 times. I don't have his win rate written down, but he is not really impressed too much on the Irelia, in my opinion. His best champs have been Vladimir, Aatrox, and Akali.
Yeah.
Let's see what he can bring and if he can redeem himself after his very bad week so far. First game has been okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll have to see what he can do. I at least have the mentality that
Palette special.
Palette bringing out the Thunderbear, not with a Callista.
They actually absolutely fed their asses off in the game against Evos, where he picked the Volibear as well.
He got MVP, didn't deserve it though.
It was another game, but they lost the game against Evos with the Volibear.
You're right.
Yeah, Palette likes to go for crazy support picks. He's an offender of the Sylas support, and Pantheon support was there as well.
He played a Leaf as well.
And Pantheon. So
yeah,
Palette's champion pool is interesting.
I mean, the real curveball here would be that's actually volley top. Whoa! What's this? Is this a new champion? We've never seen this in the VCS
before, I think.
Has he?
No, he is not. He is not. I'm sorry. I think Son is the only one who has played.
I don't think anyone's played Skarner in the VCS.
Son has at least played one Skarner game. He did not look too great, but yeah, this is definitely a little bit of a new one, because VCS really does not prioritize Skarner at all. And Skarner into Gragas, to be fair, is a horrible pick, so I don't really understand the Skarner pick.
Yeah, this isn't great.
There we go again.
This is Varus mid. This is the
Varus counter pick. Yeah, we have seen this already. Was it today? Was it yesterday? Today, right? I'm not sure.
No,
we definitely have seen Null. Not Null.
It was last night.
Last night. Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, Varus into
Also, I looked at it. This is the first Skarner. It's been banned once.
Okay, yeah, okay. It was played at the Rift Rivals. That's where I
Yeah,
saw
it,
the
it
Skarner.
hasn't been played in the VCS. It's
Okay,
had
fair
one ban.
enough. I know that Son has played it this season, but it was in fact at Rift Rivals, and he did not look too great. So fair enough.
Yeah.
First Skarner pick in the VCS, at least for this split, and it's in a very weird spot because Skarner, as I said, into Gragas is an absolutely horrific pick. You really don't want this matchup. What is
That is.
going on with this Skarner picture? This
Oh
is
wow! What
horrifying.
is the colors? The colors are so rich.
What's going on there?
What? Did they use a different splash art Moscato?
I'm not sure. The eyes remind me of the basilisk from
Yeah,
Harry Potter. I think
yeah.
I'll turn to stone when looking at this. Like,
Can you
what's
imagine
going on there?
you look down a dark alley and see that at the end? You shit yourself. I mean, fair, you'd shit yourself just because a giant scorpion, but that is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, luckily we don't have to look at it for too much longer. And now Bikur and Palette, I should say, four num,
Big,
whatever
big
that
four
means.
on that. Yep, four num. Good on them. One day we'll like pick up enough Vietnamese just like through osmosis, and we'll actually be able to explain the crazy statistics the VCS stream brings out. Well, let's say if by the time we get into the game we have first blood. Not this time.
By the way, I have to say, Volibear into this bot lane sounds absolutely terrible. It's
This
Rakan.
is a
If you pick Rakan, he just jumps away and is like waving at you. Thank you for the trip. Thank you.
see
What's
you.
interesting over
And
there?
if you try and go on Zaya, he just knocks you up. This is a terrible volley.
Isaiah can just
I love
ult later on.
Yeah, exactly.
I have
This
to
is
say,
not
the
good.
Volibear into Rakan to counter the Rakan engage is actually interesting. You can just wait for Rakan to engage and press E, and he can't enter the can't engage anymore because the E cancels dashes. That's
Yeah.
actually an interesting adaptation. I'd favor Poppy over Volibear in this case as a defensive choice.
Yep. Especially because it would also get Stark on a tank.
I mean, bot lane Poppy is possible as
Or,
well, especially
Poppy
next
support.
patch, by the way. We'll see Poppy support 100%. Palette is a Poppy support player.
I can't wait. Next patch is going to be so much fun.
Next patch is going to be
9-14
hype.
meta.
Klett, Poppy, many interesting
Yeah.
champions.
9-14 meta is looking really fun.
I enjoy 913 as well. I think especially in the VCS, as we don't see as much Corki as Zir, we actually get treated with a lot of interesting matchups, and Palette always brings out interesting things in the bot lane. Thunderbeer, once again, for him this game.
Yeah, the Thunderbear Bear is in. That'd be a good skin for Volibear. Give him a Thunderbird skin. I don't know. I don't think Thunderbirds are a thing outside Australia.
What even is that?
It was a kid show. It was like they were like superheroes, Thunderbirds.
Why is
It was good
every Aatrox rocking the Mecha Aatrox skin?
Because the other skins suck.
But this skin sucks as well, especially the E animation
Yeah,
on this skin.
but the E's hilarious.
I hate it so
He has
much.
Heelys. He's got
Oh
little
my
roller
God.
skates.
It looks so dumb.
It does, but like every basic Aatrox that doesn't think about what their skin is, they want they go Bloodburn
Mecha.
or Prestige.
Oh, Prestige.
And then yeah, I mean the Prestige looks nice, but it's what everyone uses. So everyone wants to use Mecha instead, and then we have a situation where instead everyone uses Mecha. But speaking of the Aatrox, he is getting ganked, but backs off pretty easily there.
The wheelie's coming in handy.
Exactly. He got out of there. And I mean, Raizo made that gank really obvious.
Yeah,
As
absolutely.
he just threw himself forward, and I mean, it had to just be, well, you obviously have a jungler coming.
And as they are running with the inferior rune choice on Gragas, they don't have the extra damage from Dark Harvest on 0 stacks, so no chance of securing the kill.
No, yeah, just for those of you who may not have watched the first series, Dark Harvest Gragas has 100% win rate in the VCS.
Exactly.
It won 2 games.
To be fair, against FTV, so not sure how long this win rate will hold
FTV
through.
beat DBL.
And Flash, by the way,
And
for that
Flash,
matter.
like FTV are like they can't beat bad teams, but they can kill the kings. It's crazy.
Imagine we get to the next FTV against Cerberus series. Cerberus once again wins against FTV for whatever reason, and in the end, FTV gets last place, beating DBL and Flash with a 2-12 record, and Cerberus only
He beat
gets 7 with
absolute.
2-12, only beating FTV. That would be
I
feels
don't
bad.
understand it. It's got to be a mix of the top teams not taking FTV seriously and FTV just randomly spiking every now and then. It's crazy. But looking at this game, where do we think the early break points are going to be? Where do we think the junglers are going to visit? If at all, I think both teams are
Skarner
happy to farm
just
for a
wants to farm.
while. Yeah.
Skarner does not want to early gank. By the way, if you ever
Nope.
want, if you're ever too exhausted to play real champ and you still want to play your promo out, just log in Skarner jungle. It's very chill.
Dude,
Like the
Skarner's
jungle kills itself against Skarner. You don't have to do anything. It's so easy.
It's true. Skarner's fun though.
Hitting
I
level
think he's
6, you
old.
just run mid lane, flash ult, first blood for your mid laner. You go back to jungling, wait for your flash cooldown. You go bot, flash ult on the enemy ADC, kill for your ADC. You lean back, build tank items, solo a few dragons. Game is over. Easy win.
Yeah, exactly. That's great though. How can you complain about getting to do
No,
that?
I love Skarner. He's my go-to as a jungler because I can't jungle, so I just lock in Skarner.
I'm glad to hear it. He's such a fun champion. His ult is one of the most fun things in the game to use. Just
We'll get to see if Yujin knows how to play Skarner, because there's a very interesting little trick you have to do with Skarner ult. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what exactly you're referring to.
So the Skarner ult, I think, has a channel time of 2.5 seconds, if I'm correct. And to get the max value...
Channel time to, yeah, when it's cast, yeah, it's 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, 2.5 seconds of suppression. So to get the most value out of this ult, you ult someone, drag them into your team for 1.5 seconds, and then the last second you use to turn your model around. Because the enemy will be positioned in front of you. So if you turn your model around, in front of you will be towards your team, so you get more distance with turning your model around instead of moving for the last second. We'll have to see if Yujin is aware of this mechanic, as he is level 6 now. Nope, he's not
It is,
aware.
and we've got a bit of a gank here in the bot lane, but I mean, I don't think it matters because
It
Ryzo's
does not matter
dead.
at all. But
It
he's
does not
aware.
matter at all. Ryzo, I mean, he may well be in a situation where it's right. We don't know yet. Yijin does pick up first blood though. This is a much better start for Flash than last game. They're not down at 4k gold already.
But we're only at 1 kill. We really need to pick up the pace to hit our 100 kills. So DBL will probably answer the kill. Ooh, nice flash.
Oh, Stark though. Goodbye. Oh wow, why Flash?
That flash?
What was the
Stark.
flash? You were never escaping. You flashed
Everything about
away
the
from
flash
your
was
own
bad.
tower.
Everything about the flash was
Wasn't
bad.
even moving.
Like, the flash direction was horrible, the flash timing was absolutely atrocious, and thinking about flashing was egregious as well, so, wow. Just get out, Flash.
Stark, my dude, you gotta do better. That was really, really bad.
I mean, he's
And
plays
also
for Team Flash, so he's probably contracted to
Yeah.
use Flash whenever it's up, so fair enough.
Yeah, it's probably true.
Fulfills contract in this case.
Yeah, I mean, that does make sense. And I mean, he's in a bit of strife now because there's been 2 kills in the top lane, but he didn't get one.
Yeah,
Gigi
without his
got
flash,
the kill.
DBL, Razor has flash available. If this was Yoshino, I'd say solo kill happening in 2 minutes probably. But it's Razor
Yep.
sadly, so we'll have to see if he can get back to his solo killing ways as well.
Yeah, I think there'll be a solo kill attempt. Whether or not he pulls it off is a bit of a different question, but I mean, he's got a pretty good chance. Mountain Drake started up here for DBL. They actually back off though because they know that Skarner was nearby and they just don't want to mess with the Scorpion.
Yeah, and look at the Scorpion. The Scorpion looks very scary already. Cinderhulk completed. He's sitting at 1.5k HP already. Ult available now. So yeah, don't mess with the Scorpion right now. And Flash available, so you can actually look for a Flash ult gank. He did not use his Flash the first time. Should be very easy gank on Null if he tries that. Good coverage from Null on the bot side.
Yeah, Null just has absolutely no counterplay to Yijin though.
Not really, no. And especially if Optimus sets up something with Shurima Shuffle.
Oh, Paulette knows. Paulette? Whoa, they went forward when they knew the Skarner was there. That's really, really bold.
Oh no, Meliodas, what have you done? Meliodas kicked the Skarner into his ADC. Biko was on the brink of being very, very angry with his jungler there.
Yeah, thankfully he didn't have the stinger available.
No, he got ulted actually. Well, it was not long enough to kill him. Yeah. He got ulted.
My apologies.
But there was the backup from Gragas was enough to ensure that the enemy team would not pursue the kill. But as you rightfully pointed out, Palette actually spotted the Heejin on with his sweeper there.
Yeah, he saw it. And then he engaged.
Palette on his experimental picks sometimes looks a little bit off. And this is not a kill they can pursue.
But I feel like it doesn't matter if you're playing Polybear, Rakan, or any support in the game. You see the jungler there.
Look at this. They spot Skarner here. Now he has... Yeah, wow, he just saw Skarner there.
He flashed forward. Yeah.
And now look at this.
Like, I can understand.
Bloop, bloop.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
Oh my God.
Very close to being a very, very angry Kaiser.
And I think if you utilized the mechanic I was talking about earlier on in this situation, they could have actually looked to kill him. So already one kill missed, not utilizing the Skarner's kit to its fullest potential.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he'll figure it out as the game goes on. Looking
across
the rest of the map.
40 kill mark, by the way, for the series. We are now at 41 out of 100 kills. Kills still keeping track.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit slower this game, but we've got to see. If we're gonna hit 100 kills, we need to see a game 3. So, come on, Flash.
Yeah, it looks pretty good in the early game for them. Way better early game, and we know Flash as the better mid-game team compared to DBL. As you just saw in the first game, DBL is a little bit goofy around the mid-game. They lose their winning ways. They don't really care about winning anymore. They just want to have fun. And then the game prolongs for a few more minutes. Not the cleanest of games.
Very true. And this is Shelly now being started up by Flash, going down pretty quickly. Does Meliodas really want to contest this? It's on a Skarner Spire. Fighting Skarner on a Spire is very, very dangerous. Oh, Optimus, goodbye. Where'd he go? Where did he come from? Where did he go?
It was Volibear, Flash, not Flash, Hex Flash utilized.
Yep, and up in the top lane, Ryzer going in on Slater here, but the Skarner comes in to help out. Well done, Yijin, saving his ADC.
Did they miss the turret plating gold, though? I did not see the turret plating gold go over.
I might have missed the turret plating gold. That's bad if they did, but they should still be able to get first turret.
Yeah, especially with the help of Shelly there. So, first turret going over to Flash, still shared. Oh, and they want to give it over to... No, it was shared, though.
They tried to, but unfortunately Shelly was doing her job, so they couldn't slow her down. Now, can they get to defending the spot lane in tower?
It's just a Varus ult.
Yeah, Varus ult.
Volibear didn't even do anything there. He pressed E once to get the slow and the assist. So, great participation award for Palette.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was there. He saw what happened. He came. He saw. He got an assist. And
do you know the Latin for that phrase?
Yeah, well, I don't know the last part.
Yeah, I mean, that's the interesting part.
Yeah, Veni Vidi Assisti.
Nice.
Ooh, well done there by Meliodas. Picking up a nice little kill onto CBL. This is a close game, 200 gold in it.
Yeah, Palette completely messed up his Volibear mechanics there, but in the end it didn't matter. If you get a replay, I can point out what he did wrong there. He preemptively used his E, did not try to wait for the Rakan jump, so in the end did not really pay off. His mechanic, a dash cancel thing from the E did not really pay off, but they got the kill anyway.
Unfortunate. Yep, they did. Look at Yijin going. He's just flying in.
Right, so
Rezo just has to flash away. Didn't know if the ult was up or not. They didn't have an exact timer on it, apparently. It was just coming. So
yeah, it's now up again. So twice this game they have backed off in fear of the Skarner, even though the Skarner ult was not available. So not keeping track of the Skarner are too.
They were a couple of seconds off.
Yeah, both times actually.
That wasn't particularly egregious.
No, it was not that bad, but
yeah.
I mean, that's the small things that can matter, right?
Yeah, you're a professional player. You should get it down to a second. So sometimes if you screw that up just a little bit.
And it's a very important cooldown. Skarner without his R is not really a champion, and with his R he can be very, very dangerous.
Yep.
Look at
and CBL. Yep, taking a little bit of this null poke. This is the mid lane Varus. Full lethality. Already has the Yomu's Ghostblade as well. So he's already hurting with those Qs. Gonna see if he can keep it going.
Once again, not going with the tier, so meta seems to be full lethality without tier.
Well, I mean, apparently DBL doesn't build tiers, big Coro.
Oh no. What has he done?
Made me very sad. He's ruined my day.
Yeah, maybe he can redeem himself in the next game if he picks Kai'Sa again.
Maybe
we just get another ADC pick, because Kai'Sa is actually not that great on this patch.
I mean, she's not terrible. I just don't understand.
Definitely not terrible. But
the VCS
shouldn't be picked bad.
Yeah, exactly. She's a lower tier ADC on this patch. Sivir exists, you know?
Yeah, not in Vietnam. She's banned.
Yeah, she's been disabled. Yijin, a little bit scary here. He's got a lot of big boys around. There's the grab on the Palette.
Yijin.
And Big Coro goes down on the backswing.
Another kill not secure because he doesn't know the mechanics from Skarner. Very disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Palette though. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's a tier 1 Volibear right there. Not very tanky. Without Brawler buff on top of that.
Doesn't have his RFC yet. Not looking good. Rizo now in a little bit of trouble. Here comes the Scorpion. Vroom vroom. The Nazcar is here. Does get the stun down and the slow. The Aurelia ult is out, though. A lot of damage being dealt here by Razor. He'll pick up that first kill. Can he finish him off? He can. It's a 1-for-1 Slater flashing forward. They want Null, and they're going to get him. Well done. Chum Dut.
Indeed.
Down goes Null. The shutdown.
Yeah, it actually looked like DBL would come out on top because Razor had great positioning on the flawless US there, was able to stun the Skarner and got the 1v2 outplay. But Stark turned it around with the flash, got the kill on Razor, and then Slater came in. Very assertive flash forwards. He knew that Null had no way to get out of there because it's a Varus. He does not have the biggest mobility ever.
He doesn't have any. He's got his legs.
Very good.
Skarner without ult.
Yeah, Skarner without ult. Indeed. Not doing a whole lot.
Yeah, Stark also missed a lot of sweet spots.
He had to flash for the last one here.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Slater. What a move. I really like this one.
That was a Chad
That's an Umajan move once again. Zaya has looked super strong in this series. On both sides.
Yeah,
yesterday we heard an interview with the PGL with Perks talking about the ADC role right now. He said every ADC champ starts.
Oh, look at him go! The NASCAR, vroom, vroom, vroom. In goes the Skarner, but the Gragasol is a really good counter there. CBL trying to do his best, but it's not going to be good enough. Slater manages to pick up Null in the backside though, and Stark will get a kill as well. He's now zooming into the fight here as Aatrox. Can he find anything? Rizo is running off to the wrong side of the map. Palette will be found as well. Optimus knows where Rizo is. Just has to survive a little bit longer. It cleans him up. Oh my god, it's not stopping. 4 kills picked up the Flash. They only lose their support. They get the Drake. They'll get the mid lane turret. We have 16 kills in this game. Is 100 kills going to happen your way?
We're at 54, so on track. Wow, what a fight for Flash. Rudely cutting off my point about perks.
I do apologize.
Totally different league.
Yeah, like we were talking about the LEC VCS. You slow down.
Yeah, indeed. No, what a great fight. Look at this one again. Skarner ult.
I had to go full horse
It was
race.
a very interesting interaction on Bikor there, because somehow the Skarner ult interacted with Gragas, and Bikor got displaced a little bit farther than he wanted, so he had to flash out immediately. Flash then profited on the no mobility ADC, and now look at this 1v1. Optimus against Razor. You would favor the Irelia here, but Optimus absolutely wrecked him in the 1v1. No problem.
Three soldiers on top of you, that's a bad place to be.
Yeah, and with the boots, I think. The boots paid dividends for him, because this is a ninja Tabai Azir, so the top laner didn't really do any damage to him.
I'm going to say, I hope, as much as I love fights like that, can we just spread the kills out a little bit so I don't sound like I'm announcing a horse race next time?
Yeah. I mean, we'll get more kills this game, so we're right on track.
Absolutely.
We need 12 kills more to be on track for the 100 kill score in 3 games. And right now it looks like Flash might be able to equalize the series. We had 4k gold lead for them.
Yeah, and I mean, this game, like, obviously Flash is quite favoured at the moment, but they're going to need a few more fights to get over the line. We might get...
And DBL will fight. We know that DBL will fight.
DBL will not go quietly in the night. Ooh, Yijin tries to flash forward, but he was slowed. So he loses his flash and doesn't get the ult off.
I'm super unhappy with Yijin Skarner. I think he has played a very bad Skarner game. But it's Skarner anyway, he just needs to ult.
Started up.
One Mountain Drake.
Yeah, it's going down
so this is a lot of damage.
On half health. But they pull off it, decide against it.
Yeah, interesting attempt. I think they didn't really lose any positioning on the map, so why not go for the Baron? Maybe the enemies don't react in time, then you get a free Baron. That makes it way easier to close up the game. So I like this ball a lot.
Ooh, Ryzo wants the 1v1 here, throws himself forward. Had already taken quite a lot of damage though, and Stark is pretty happy just to press R and say,
this is a very bad sign for DBL. They are supposed to win the side lane matchup, and Irelia into Aatrox, but look at the...
5-1.
Yeah, Stark has played a great game on Aatrox. I think this champion fits him and his team way better. He can side lane, he can 1v1, but he's especially strong in teamfight setups. And that's where Flash overall shine as a team. They have 2 of the strongest backline carries in the league, in Slater and Optimus. Why not go for a teamfighting setup? There's no team good enough to really play side lanes. Maybe Gum can try to do it. But against anyone else in the league, I think Flash can just go full teamfight and go full liquid on them.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way,
play a bit of
Skarner, very much a liquid champion.
Yeah, very true. And as much as we joke about how bad LCS is, Liquid is legitimately a good team.
A very good team. They are definitely top 10 in the world. I generally believe they are very good.
Yeah, and I also love the Liquid organization, just in general. Yijin does get Varus ulted. It's going to take a lot of damage, but gets out. Optimus with a good pressure from the flank, making sure that nothing was really going to happen.
We're still at 4k gold lead. We're still at 54 kills in the series. And considering we're in the middle of game 2, right on track, right? We need 46 more kills in the next 2 games, or this game, the next game. Yeah, and with the next Baron fight, there's probably 6-7 kills happening. So.
I think we're spotting a little bit of the VCS's unfamiliarity with the Skarner. No one's paid the tax.
Yeah, that's very strange. Especially Null should have invested gold, because he's sitting on a Varus. And
you have to buy the QSS. You're so vulnerable.
Yeah, this Varus will just instantly die to the Skarner.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's pings on Baron. I'm not sure if they've actually started it up. There is the 1v1 down the bottom. Stark so far has missed the Infernal Chains, manages to get that one sweet spot off. He has his comp prop. Both of them using their ults here. Ryzo's in a lot of trouble, and down he goes!
I am not sure why Razor didn't try to run away. He has flash available. He just stood there and took it. Like, okay, you're the better top laner. I give the kill. I give over. I give in, I should say. What? That was very weird.
Now, TPing in. If DBL wants to contest this, it'll be a 4v5. CBL throwing himself forward. Meliodas got Skarner ulted, and down he goes. Now no smite for the side of DBL. Can they try and stop this Baron? Not really. Baron secured.
Oh, this game might end in a few minutes, and we are not on track with the kills, so DBL needs to int a little bit more in this game for 100 kill dream to come true. With very good execution on Flash, they immediately went for the Baron. They even started the Baron while the 1-1 in bot lane was still happening. They knew Stark could teleport either after recalling after the 1v1 or even just after the 1v1 happened, as he then did. And then they had a 5v4 advantage. Skarner ult available. Meliodas did not really use his ults to the most efficiency there against Skarner. Pretty easy Baron, and now 7k gold lead for Flash at 24 minutes.
Yeah. This is going to be very, very difficult for DBL to get back in. This side lane collapse out of Rise. Look at Palette go! That is a fast bear, but Meliodas is going to be the one to feel the pain. CBL somehow lives there, even after Big Coro altered himself forward. Rizo now taking the pain of those sand soldiers.
What are you doing?
Optimus throwing himself forward. He's just not scared. There's not enough damage to take him down. He was in the middle of the enemy team for a few seconds there, but
what an alpha move.
DBL as well. What a Chad move. Flash picks up 4. They can end the game.
Did you see his health bar? Re-engaging. He had like single-digit HP. Went back in there, ult W, knew no one could challenge him because no one would get an auto take off. Now he's back to 500 HP counting his shield. This game might just end. Flash is so good once they get a lead. If they could somehow more consistently get leads, they would be the best team in the VCS. Because their mid-game macro and their late-game transitioning just looks very, very clean. They are probably the best macro team, maybe together with QG in the VCS. Whenever they get a lead, it looks very crisp. Look, what would DBL have done with this lead?
They would have screwed around for another 15 or so minutes.
At least.
And then probably lost.
Very decisive from Flash. Another fight force. Look at Big Core. Oh man, that has to feel back. Now keep your eyes on CBL. Keep your eyes on CBL in this fight. Still sitting on around 50 HP maybe. Regrouping with his Aatrox for the flank. Oh no, we didn't see his re-engage.
Yeah, that's a shame. That was one of the best parts of the fight, was the way CBL just knew that I'm going to go in and they're going to be CC'd until they die, so I'm not going to get punished. It was really, really good Rakan play.
Absolutely. Very nicely done. 2 very good Rakan games. I think Palette was still a bit more impactful, especially in the early game, but CBL definitely was a solid Rakan performance.
I mean, yeah, CBL is having a good Rakan game. Palette's Rakan game was mind-blowing. Like, they don't happen often.
Yeah, now Slater, after getting trucked in the first game by the enemy ADC, probably the 2 best ADCs playing, by the way, right now, here in this game, he comes back and goes 6-0-6 on the same champ. So, 3rd game, we will hopefully see 2 different champs to see which of the 2 ADCs is better.
Specialty, too. Like, Big Coro's picked away his Kai'Sa, and he's 1-2-2.
Slater's Kai'Sa win rate is actually very, very bad this season.
Yeah. It's true, but it's still what he's known for. But Slater has now picked up a kill. Skarner picks up 2, and this is game. We're going to game 3.
At 25 kills in this game, a little bit less than
a little bit below pace. Yeah.
So the next one needs to be a little bit more back and forth for more kills. We are now sitting at 63 kills, so only 3 behind our timer. Next one needs 37 kills for our 100 kills to come in. I think we can definitely reach it, especially if DBL wins. We'll probably reach 100 kills. If Flash wins, maybe not, because they are a little bit more clean, even though they get a lot of kills.
We only need 37.
37 in one game is a lot.
When DBL's winning?
Yeah, that's why I said, if DBL wins, I think we get the 100 kills. If Flash wins, not as likely. And 25 kills in one game is still a lot, especially in a 26-minute game.
Yeah, very, very true. So, we'll see how we go. But wow, this has been a fun series, hey?
Yeah, and if you look back at this game, I think this was the first very good performance out of Stark. I'm not
Yep.
sure if I'm willing to give him the MVP for this game. What do you think?
Um,
He
I
got the
think
solo
there's a
kill on
definitely.
Razor.
Yeah, I don't think so. No, I think I'm leaning towards. If we don't give it to him, who do we give it to?
I think it's actually Stark this game. You definitely
Yeah.
could give it to Slater. But I actually think there was
Yeah.
no real crazy. Okay, there was the one very assertive play in the bot lane where he caught Null on the Varus.
Yeah,
That was a very
I
cool
actually
play.
think Stark. I think Stark.
Yeah, let's give it to
Personally.
Stark. Slater had a great
Yep.
game, and CBL once again at the side of Slater, showing off once again as well. But Stark gets the first MVP for us here after a few relatively shaky series.
Yeah.
And do you think DBL will now sub in Kaido?
I mean, I always think it's risky to make a player change in a game 3.
Well, Reizu has looked really bad this week.
I agree, and I mean, there's definitely a strong argument for it. But how much have they scrimmed with him? There's so many questions to ask. But if they're ever going to do it, this is the time.
Yeah, this is a dangerous series to lose. I mean, they have a 1-0
Yeah.
record over Flash, so in the end, DBL losing is not as bad as Flash losing for them, because 0-2 head-to-head against DBL would mean DBL will probably always get a higher seed into playoffs. But if DBL lose this next game, they will tie Flash and Loki at 7-3. And if Gum wins tomorrow, we have 4 teams tied at 7-3. We have 4 playoff spots.
Crazy.
That would be absolutely crazy, and I would really like to see that. So please,
It'd be
Flash.
so much fun.
I'm unbiased, but I wish for
Hey,
a very
I mean,
close VCS.
Of course. Of course. So we will find out soon.
Another super
What
interesting and very exciting game is in the books, and we'll get back in around 5.5 minutes for the last game of the day, for the closeout of this match between the first and the second seed right now.
Yep. Good everybody, we are back for game 3 of a very exciting, very bloody series here between Team Flash and the Dashing Buffalo. We are still trying to look for our 100 kills, and it's not out of the realms of possibility.
Definitely not. 37 to go. We had 38 in the first game. Slater gets the MVP. Fair enough. He was our second candidate, and looking at the scoreboard, very obvious candidate for the main broadcast, or the official broadcast, I should say,
Yeah,
because they like
he
to
did well.
award MVP for KDA, especially if you don't die. He
Yep,
definitely had a great game.
that he did. So, not really going to give too much flack to the main broadcast for that one, but still.
We gave it over to Stark for anyone who did not catch our MVP. Stark had a great game on the Aatrox. And to
Yep.
be fair, it was a little bit of a narrative MVP as well this time for us, because he's the new top laner, and so far has not been performing too great. And this was his first really good game, and Flash ties the series at 1-1. Will Flash be able to close it out? Last time they got ahead in the series, and then Dashing Buffalo came back with a reverse sweep. This time they are the team winning the second game, and usually second
Yep.
win wins the series. Let's see. That holds true today as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think both of these teams will be able to mentally reset going into game 3 here. But still, momentum is a factor. We're going to have to see if the draft changes that much. So far, the band's looking pretty much the same.
A Carly ban though.
That's been banned every game.
On red side as well?
Maybe not on red side, but it's been banned every game.
Interesting.
The Azir ban is a change, though.
Yeah,
Optimus
Optimus had a
won't be
great
getting that
game on
one.
Azir. I think we'll see Lux and Yumi banned again on red side for Team Flash, forcing Palette on some of his more experimental picks once again. Hopefully Sibel will not go for Galio like he did in game 1.
If you pick Gallia, you just deserve to lose if you're Flash.
Silas
didn't
once
look
again
good.
banned as well. He has actually
Yep.
not seen too much play today. I think he has hit the ban list most of the time. So now
Yeah, I mean,
Sejuani
he's
and J4, probably the
really.
highest rated
Yeah, I
junglers
wouldn't be
available.
surprised to see a J4 first pick.
Absolutely, Meliodas is super great on the J4. So I expect J4 first pick. Even maybe it's an Aatrox though, because Razor has looked great on Aatrox and he just horribly lost on the against the Aatrox in the top lane.
Very true. And I mean, yep, J4 is what it is going to end up being, though. Yejin, though, still does his Gragas to lean back on.
Aatrox Gragas,
So-
or we could see Aatrox Zaya maybe. I'd like to see
Don't have
Aatrox
to
Zaya.
pick
If you think about the
You can
series,
use your third pick on Gragas. Yeah, I
both
think Aatrox
Zayas
Zaya.
have looked very, very good this game. Yeah, there it is. It was pretty easy to predict so far. 3 out of 3
Take the
in
credit.
terms of predictions. We could see Kaiser Nautilus here, for example. Could also
That'd be
see
very
Irelia Corki.
Yeah, I mean, I think Corky's fairly like,
Ooh,
no, they're
I
going
like
into
this one.
Caitlyn. But they're doing it without the Lux. What are they going to pair it with? The Morgana?
Oh, this is a
Okay.
classic. This is the most traditional counter lane into Zaya Rakan. You can't pick Rakan here.
Cannot pick Rakan. It is
This
suicide.
is the lane that came up when Zaya Rakan was by far the strongest lane in the game. Some people started to pick up the Caitlyn Morgana, and Caitlyn Morgana absolutely murders Zaya Rakan. Morgana in itself is a good counter pick into Rakan, but this lane is both champs are countered, and even the 2v2 is a counter matchup, so we now need to
Exactly.
see what Flash goes into as a support pick.
Yeah, and I mean, one interesting thing to come on here is Flash is really scared of this LeBlanc pick. They've been banning that out pretty much every game to get it off of Null. I don't really think he's that much of a threat to pick it.
Very surprising once you have locked in the Corki. Corki usually a very good matchup into the LeBlanc, especially once he has shopped the first time for an early Hex Drinker. He can absolutely handshake the lane and then outscale her threefold. So now
Exactly.
Olaf banned for against Siege, and that's a very curious ban. I would like to see a support champion pool pinch from Dashing Buffaloes. Instead, they ban out the
Yeah,
Olaf.
take out the Gragas. Well,
He
you
has
can still
not
ban
played
Gragas,
Olaf
right?
once this season.
I mean, if you're going to ban Olaf, you have to ban Gragas as well. That's his
Yeah, that's
comfort pick. He's always going to pick Gragas before he picks Olaf. It's Yijin.
Yeah, I really don't need to pick ban Rakan. He's countered, so you'll.
No.
Even if they pick Rakan, they just kill themselves basically with a kill kick.
Yeah, I mean, you want them to pick Rakan.
Yeah,
You
right.
definitely don't.
And there's no other support you really need to fear right now. Yumi and Lux are banned, so Thresh.
Apparently,
comes in line.
Thresh.
I really don't
I don't
understand
that.
what is going on with the Gragas ban. Why is there no Gragas ban?
I mean, like, either don't touch Yijin's champion pool or ban his Gragas, right? Why half-ass it and ban out the Olaf?
And Olaf in the comp is actually. Oh,
Don't
wow.
pick that. Don't pick that flash.
Wow, this is surprising.
They don't have a bot lane.
Yeah.
They're
This is a very hard to play bot lane. To be fair to them, in the late game you can do something with the Rakan, obviously. Caitlyn can get the Black Shield, so it's very hard to engage on the Caitlyn. But maybe the Rakan can look for the mid laner. I would have liked to see the Rakan as a last pick, if anything, because right now you've given away the Rakan, so the enemy team can now adapt their draft to counter the Rakan in terms of composition as well. This could be a very low value Rakan pick.
I don't like this Corki. I mean, not Corki, sorry, Cannon.
Nico and Cannon.
Yeah,
same
I don't
champ
like
twice.
this.
Interesting.
What is it with the last two picks? Always just blowing our minds in terms of what is going on.
Yeah, wow. This was surprising as well. Oh, not. I mean, Legion has played Nidalee once before.
Yeah, but
J4.
Gragas is open.
Interesting.
Right? Like, Gragas is his best champion.
So let's think about why Nidalee and not Gragas. Both bring AP damage. Gragas obviously has better scaling and better teamfight impact. Nidalee has faster clear speed and maybe a little bit stronger early game skirmishing if she hits her spear.
Yeah.
So
how relevant is the clear speed difference against Jarvan, where Gragas was going to clear faster anyway?
They might
like, yes,
look to...
Nidalee will clear even faster, but faster is faster.
They have great siege with the Nidalee. Nidalee is a good siege champ, and then they now have Corki Nidalee as their poke and siege setup for the mid game. Triple range champs as well to siege down turrets. So this is a siege comp, not so much a teamfight comp as it would have been with a Gragas pick.
We're going siege against Caitlyn?
Yeah, why not? I mean...
she just sets up the trap line. How do you siege? You have to engage.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a little bit puzzled by the Nidalee pick. Still...
I'm also... I mean, the real pick that's throwing me is the Rakan.
Yeah, the Rakan and the Nidalee pick are a little bit weird at this stage for Flash. They still have great scaling with Corki and the double crit ADCs, I should say, with Zaya and Corki coming in as the backline. They have a great teamfight top laner and Aatrox on top of that. Nidalee does not really fit their comp too well. I think this is more of a confidence thing for Yijin. Maybe they've planned an early invade. I could actually see them running away with the early game if they get 2 or 3 early kills, like DBL did in the first game.
Yeah, it's very possible. I'm not sure how I feel about these drafts overall. I also think the Raizo Cannon is silly. I think it's a bit lazy. Like, Cannon does fine into Aatrox, but...
He watched too much LCK.
Yeah.
It's AD Cannon, and AD Cannon has been flavor of the week, I would say, over in the LCK. Many AD Cannons coming out with crit build, actually, building the Blade of the Rune King into full crit on the cannon, so transitioning into a very late ADC style build.
Yeah, I mean, that used to be a thing way back in the day. You know, there was the famous AD cannons around the world, but I don't like this at all from Raizo, especially because he hasn't been having a particularly good series. Do you, like, kind of just get farmed on cannon? You are just not a champion.
I think this game, they just picked solo lanes that can farm and be safe, because this is a very bot side focused draft from DBL. They have J4 for early dives in the bot lane. They have one of the strongest 2v2 setups that you can run on the bot lane with the Caitlyn and Morgana. So I think DBL just, wow, how did that connect?
I'm not sure. But it is early rumbles here in the bot lane, and you can already see what happens when you try and fight against Caitlyn Morgana. You don't win.
And you never get to auto-attack the Caitlyn as Zarya. Caitlyn just stands there out of your range, and there are headshots coming down. So Zarya does not really have a great time against Caitlyn. Actually, in teamfights, Zarya can do a lot against her. She definitely has more damage, especially once the lethal tempo procs. You can reposition, I should say, with Flash and Blade Caller and try to catch out the Caitlyn. So, especially in mid-game teamfights, Zarya is the stronger teamfighter, but in lane she can't do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, lane is where the Caitlyn comp matters, right? They just want to get the tower as soon as possible, as many platings as they can. And it will be vertical jungling as well. Yijin and Meliodas just taking away each other's blue. Hopefully we do see the correct read from Yijin, knowing that he needs to actually clear camps as well.
Yeah, and usually vertical jungling favors the slower clearing jungler, because the enemy jungler can't contest for the one side of the map. So Meliodas should be very happy with this situation. He's actually even when it comes to clear speed right now. Has invested a lot of early HP to enhance his clear speed. But as long as he's even in farm, he'll just completely
Rytho
outscale
doesn't have E, and the jungler's here. But Yijin doesn't want to go for it. We'll just take the Scuttle Crab instead. And I mean, just down there in the bot lane for a moment, we did see why Rakan is so bad into this lane. He went forward to try and get the knockup, but the Black Shield just came down and said, "Now you just get auto-attacked a few times, man. Like, what are you doing?"
That's not great. Oh, and now Yijin looks for the first.
Right, Yijin coming in.
His red buff just. Oh, that's so sad for Yijin.
Yeah, no slow from the red buff. Moments too late. How unfortunate. Now the spear hits. Not going to re-engage though.
It still helps.
Early lead to Stark. Yep.
Wow. Yeah.
Every time. That is going to happen.
This is so frustrating to watch. Rakan, Zarya
Why
can't do
did they
anything here.
pick Rakan into this?
The Rakan pick was very, very weird. This is once
like,
again.
Yeah, okay, your Zarya got counterpicked.
Looking like not the best coaching in the VCS coming.
Yep. Oh, Slater locked up as well, taking so much damage. The exhaust is out. The flash is forced. So many summons, but Big Koro in a lot of trouble.
What?
Just absolutely conked by the spears.
What?
Out to go. Good finding there. But the spear hits. So he should be able to dash forward. Palette.
Wait,
so low, but Yijin might have gone a little bit too far.
What?
Oh, no, he gets
You
the
can't
fade
be
away.
serious.
But now Meliodas is here. What a play out of Yijin, making the best of a bad situation. This is a Dark Harvest Nidalee as well.
Okay, Vicoro lost his mouse or something, and his keyboard as well. He had flash and heal available. Got completely surprised by the spear there coming out of the brush, killing him instantly. And Legion snipes out the support as well. Goes 2 and 1 up. At least one kill back to Meliodas, who collected a little bit of gold. I actually did not, interestingly enough. The bounty is still on top. Why is the bounty still there? That's a little confusing.
Not sure. Wow, Rytho just murdered Stark. Slater dies under tower, but Meliodas taking a lot of damage. Will go down in exchange, so it's actually just a 1-for-1.
7 kills in 5 minutes. 30 to go.
Is the 100 kill dream real?
Yeah, we just hit 70, so 30 to go. And looking at the pace of the game, well, I mean, why not, right?
Right? We can dream.
What happened on the top lane, though? No flash used by either side. No ult used by Razor either, so Stark just completely misreading the situation there, probably.
Seems that way. And Optimus as well, taking a fair bit of damage there from Null.
He has fallen behind.
But he is okay.
Far in the mid lane.
30 CS down. What is going on? DBL looking really assertive in this. And what happens here? Stark just got run down.
Flash? Stark? Flash? No?
Flash? any point there he could have flashed and survived.
I mean, there seems to be flash disabled for this game, because Big Bro
Yeah,
could have
that
flashed
was
as well for the bottling gank. No flashes come in. Fair play. Don't flash away from the
fair
play.
enough.
Enemy outplayed you, so you just die. I guess that's what we agreed on in this game. And if you look at the play from last game from Razor, maybe Sark still had to pay him back, because Razor just stood
Yeah,
there and took this, gave over the solo kill last game.
yeah, it's very true. Maybe they just Stark saying, "Hey man, I don't need the early lead against you. I'll beat you anyway." See if he pays for that arrogance, because I mean he really should have flashed. That was egregious.
Yeah, he could have
Like Big
flashed,
Koro,
as you said, at any stage.
yeah.
It wasn't even not even a hard flash to do there. Just
No, like Big
flash.
Koro, you can at least give him the excuse that he underestimated the spear. Not a good excuse, but it's an excuse. Stark is just like, dude, you were walking in a straight line against a cannon.
Yeah, it was
Just
also
press the button.
mechanically way more difficult to flash the spear, because it was out of fog of war, so he actually did not see the spear.
Exactly.
Should still be able to react, obviously, as a pro player, but it definitely was a hard flash. It was
Yeah.
not a hard flash in the top lane.
No. This is now going to be a blue buff steal. Optimus knows that it's
Oh
happening and he does
no.
deny giving it to Null.
Red buff.
Down in the bot lane. This is so painful. They might finally be able to get something done. They do get Big Koro's flash here. Paulette takes a lot of damage, but Meliodas has arrived. Cataclysm is up. The damage coming in from Big Koro. Does he have his ult? No, he's not quite level 6 yet. Just unfortunate. That would have been a kill
Now
on
level
either
6
one
now.
of them. Yeah, but he doesn't have vision. Unless Slater is very dangerous.
If he gets hit
Slater
by
won't die
any
from it.
skill shot, he's dead
Yeah.
with the ult.
Yeah. CBL now with a bit of healing coming in from his refillable could block, so Ace in the Hole won't come out. But this Caitlyn lane is doing exactly what it needs to do. Doesn't have a huge CS lead, but look at the tower plates. They've already taken 3.
Yeah, that's what it feels like playing against Caitlyn in lane. Not great. At least Yijin used his time wise. Oh god, Slater might
Oh,
be dead.
Slater could be in a lot of trouble. This bot lane from DBL is very low. The Ace in the Hole is used. It's not going to matter. Oh, Null burns to death. Red buff picking up that kill.
What is this chaos?
What is going on? I think they want 100 kills.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like they are hunting for the 100 kills, because Yijin just got a kill on the enemy mid laner. However, that is possible.
Optimus.
And he's
Down in
now
the bot
had
lane.
20 CS over the enemy jungler. Both junglers on 3-1 and 1. 3-1-0, I should say. Both junglers heavily accelerated, especially the Nidalee. Already hitting her
Yep.
jungle item and the Dark Seal on 2 stacks. So this Nidalee might go off in the mid game. 3 camps available to
Very
herself.
possible. What actually happened here? Just. Oh, that
That's
does
a
a
lot of
brutal amount
damage.
of damage. Yeah. It's a lot of lag.
Indeed. So
Is
he
that-
landed the spear into follow-up burst, backed off from the ult, and then chased him down with auto attacks. Nicely done from Yijin. Played it perfectly.
Perfect play.
Yep. Nothing to criticize him for. And there's still a big
Dark
gold
Half.
lead for Null. Usually Null wins lane, because he's just very good. Especially when it comes to laning. I think his strongest suit. And once
Definitely.
again, dominates Optimus in lane. But now went down to the Nidalee. Nidalee actually has more CS than both her solo laners. So doing very well in this game.
Italy is doing a lot, to say the least. Yijin is having a very good game on the Cougar. Hopefully we can see that keep up. We want to see him snowball this advantage, not just go quietly into the fall off.
Yeah, that's actually what you do.
Ooh,
Meliodas
engage
showed
there in the bot
that
lane.
he, in fact, has his mouse available to him. All the other players
Yep.
on the side of DBL.
This is so depressing in the bot lane.
Oh,
CBL is
no.
trying so hard to find engages, but there is no chance. Ace in the Hole is available. CBL is just dead. Double kill, picked up the Big Koro. This is why we don't pick Rakan into Morgana, boys.
But to be
Don't
fair,
do it.
that was on Slater. That was definitely 100%
Yeah.
on Slater. He completely misplayed the fight. He got caught by the
True,
binding.
but I mean, CBL didn't misplay, but none of his spells did anything.
Yeah, it's
Not
still a
because
very
he's
bad
very
bad pick into the counter matchup. But yeah, that was big blunders
That
from Slater. If you get the replay, we can point out what he did wrong there. I think he completely mispositioned compared in relation, I should say, to the Morgana lane.
Yep.
Yeah, look at this one
Absolutely.
again.
Here is the
There we go.
replay.
So now Slater does not get caught by the first Q, and they see the opportunity here because the Q is not available to Ballet.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well,
come on.
the replay is cancelled because we have a bit of a
He's 2 levels ahead, but
skirmish.
Yujin is still dead.
Yujin, yeah, he is absolutely dead. Raizo coming in, popping that ult. That is one kill. That is the shutdown secured, but Optimus will get a kill there onto Pallet. Do they keep going? No, they choose not to. We'll pick up a Scuttle Crab maybe for their trouble, but 1 for 1. But it was a shutdown given over to the side of DBL, so they're happy with that one. They have that 1k gold lead.
And shutdown over to Rezo, very crucial. Now he's sitting at 2-0, has invested 800 gold into Executioner's Calling, but with the 2 kills he will not be slowed down in terms of item build. So this is Executioner's Calling for free, basically, given over from Flash.
Yep.
Stark has to be very angry with his fellow players. Fair enough, he gave one of the kills away.
Himself as well, right? Like, he could have just flashed. Yejin just getting a little bit caught there.
Very
Not
good
sure
exhaust,
why
by
they
the
go
way.
for the
Very
re-engage.
good exhaust here.
Yeah, that was a kill if not for the exhaust.
Nice.
Palette playing that really
Palette
well
is
in
very
general.
good on the Morgana. Absolutely on point. Has hit almost every binding. Optimus gets the free kill on the backside because Palette had his flash available apparently, but did not want to flash.
Yeah, but I don't even know if the flash would have guaranteed him getting out. He didn't have much time to react.
1k gold lead for DBL. My kind of prediction for this last game was that whoever wins the early game wins the game, especially if Flash wins the early game, because they have the cleaner mid game. Is this enough of a lead for DBL to be able to cleanly close this game out?
I mean, it's so hard to read because sometimes we have to separate. When a mid game goes badly for DBL, is it because they're kind of having a happy mid game, which they won't do in this? Like, I'm sure their players are disciplined enough to say, like, this is game 3 against Flash. Or CBL throws himself in there, actually does so much, but the Nico ult is used. CBL won't be able to find his way out, but that's already the jungler dead. Nor so low. Can they find anything? Oh, and throwing himself forward with the Feather Storm. Stark now has the revive. This is all going wrong here for DBL. Flash has picked up 3 kills. Sorry, I can't count. 4 kills just for 1.
Yeah, what a great engage from DBL. And we talked about the Rakan being absolutely useless in lane, but being able to impact the later team fights, because he's still Rakan with one of the greatest engages in the game. Look at this one again. Interesting approach from 2 sides, to the 2 flanks covered from the side of Flash, and immediately get 1 kill and the Rochelle secure. So now they are able to chase for kills. Razor is not there. Palette is out of the fight. Null is completely useless. Biko without mana. Yep. Very interesting, very aggressive flash forwards from Slater once again. Big Kuro tried to go for the big outplay, but he's 80 cannon, so his ult actually does absolutely nothing there. So now 5-2 and 2 on Yijin on the Nidalee. Look at her items. This is a very scary cat.
This is a big cougar. This is a little bit scary.
And Slater got kills as well down there. So now Slater back in the game as well. He wants to go for the most efficient build, which I really like, because, wow, the lag is hitting us again. Hopefully
yeah, wow. This is, sorry, this is the mainstream doing this. This lag is coming straight from Vietnam. This is the authentic experience.
Yeah, we have 17 kills secured, so 20 to go. If we keep the pace, I think we'll hit the 100 kills. Razor in a lot of trouble, because there's a squad coming for him.
Yeah, he doesn't really have an escape here, except be Lightning Pikachu.
That's a little bit pretty risky to dive the cannon. They should have known that his ult was on cooldown, so actually not that risky to dive the cannon.
Still,
maybe a little bit lacking in damage, because it was only support and jungler.
Ooh, CBL a little bit caught out here, but Rakan does manage to use that E to get away.
Yeah, now the game might slow down a little bit, because all the important objectives are secured. The Richard evoked a really big fight, but now the Rifthold is gone, and the Baron will not spawn for 3.5 more minutes, I should say. So
Yep.
Rifthold can be spawned in mid lane. Might see a defense from DBL because Rifthold against the Caitlyn is actually not that easy to push in.
No, it's really not. We'll have to see how this goes. Slater is the one with the Rift Herald.
How did that
He gets
connect?
hit by a mon. The lollipopping on Morgana Q is egregious.
Wow, that
It's
looks
absurd.
straight like the very famous spear from Gung, if you remember the AP Nidalee times.
I
We
remember the
shot the spear towards the enemy mid laner, but there was a minion wave coming in, so the enemy mid laner felt safe, and the minion wave, for some, no one knows for what reason exactly, just took a step to the side, and the enemy mid laner was killed by the one-shot spear. Very,
I mean,
very
did you
fun
see
play.
there was an interview with Faker a few day or so ago where he said the champion he most misses is AP in Italy.
He was very good on that champion.
He was really good on it, and I
That
mean, I
was an
like that champion.
obnoxious champ, though. I really don't want to see the AP Nidalee meta again.
Dude, just pink the spears. No worries. Dude,
It
just
was
ward.
something.
Yeah, no, it was so
That was probably
toxic.
the
Just
most toxic meta we
80% of
ever saw, because
yeah,
you
just
could literally do
80% of your health
nothing against them.
vanishing. Yeah, she was just throwing them like every 3 seconds. That was a bad time.
Luckily, New Nidalee still deals a lot of damage with the spears, but can do
Yeah,
a lot more as well. And
New
will actually
Italy's a lot.
get buffed next patch, by the way.
Yeah, Vietnam's very happy about that one. Oh, Optimus going for the real aggro play, trying to lay down the bit of the equalizer there. Oh, Meliodas gets his dash interrupted. Goodbye, son. You're out of there.
Nicely done. Once again, very
DBL bouncing
clean
back from the useless lane.
Rakan play. And now free Dragon, Infernal Drake on top of that. So very well profited for Flash. And they are now ahead by more than 2k gold and an Infernal Drake. So this game looks very good for them. Especially considering the enemy team is running
up top.
AD Cannon.
Yep.
Look at how useful this Pikachu is.
Yeah, this isn't great. Optimus can just kite him out forever. Rizo's in a little bit of trouble. They might not be able to catch on to him, though.
How
He's a little
low
speedy
is the
boy.
speed cooldown? That's insane.
Really low.
Legion looks for the snipe. Oh, CBL is here as well, so they really want to kill
The
Rizo.
dive is coming. Rizo, can you go for the outplay? Optimus is taking a lot of damage,
Wow,
but the
Optimus.
stopwatch
Wow.
is used.
Wow.
Rizo's still running here. He's hitting the legs. Electro Pikachu doing well. He bought a lot of time, considering he was basically dead.
And Optimus played that as bad as he could. At least he did not die to the turret.
It's true.
What a
Now
waste of a
Meliodas is
stopwatch
the next
cooldown.
one to be caught out. Yeah, true. Where can DBL try and press and prod into the not Flash, sorry, I was reading Flash Walls in Discord, into Flash, to try and come back here? Where's the weak point?
They really need to avoid the 5v5. Right now they can't win any 5v5s, so they want to create maybe 3v3s. Look at maybe a catch on Legion, because if you stack your CC on, not stacks on, instead, chain
Just layer.
CC, layer chain CC on Legion, you might be able to get a big shutdown on him. There's 600 gold available to collect for DBL. So they have a lot of engage, so maybe try to get a pick on Legion, maybe on Optimus as well. He just wasted his stopwatch.
I feel like I'm going to be very upset with Big Koro in about 2 minutes, because I think he's going double attack speed items.
Very probable, considering he is sitting a Brawler's glove.
The glove. Yeah, that really only goes into Zeal.
And then another play set up for Flash. They want to catch Meliodas, and this time Meliodas will get away.
Takes a lot of damage though.
They
Top lane tower does go down for DBL.
Yeah, but no local gold, so even though it's a tower falling, it's only 50 gold to everyone. That's not great. That's a potion. Yay, you all can afford a potion now.
Hey man, sometimes health pots save lives.
Very true, very true.
Yeah, but
Right now it looks very good for Flash, because
it does.
IE completed for Slater, IE almost there for Optimus as well, and then we have the typical double AD carry with very strong Aatrox as well. Super good teamfight setup. Caitlyn is in a power trough in the mid game.
I mean, and it's only gonna be extended if you don't build Essence Reaver. Bothers me.
At least shielded 75% crit chance. She's sitting at 65 now. So she's critting a lot, not for a lot of damage, because she has no AD, but at least she's critting.
Ooh, Slater a little bit caught out there. Has to use the ult to avoid the null E. And what is Raizo gonna do on this AD cannon? He had a good lane, but since then he's really fallen off. He's actually 20 CS down on Stark now. Meliodas throws himself forward. Yijin flashes over the binding. Well done.
And this is one of the problems we saw a lot when AD Cannon was meta a few years ago. He was very successful in Korea, but no other region really ever successfully pulled him off. Because you need a lot of coordination, you need to be very good at split pushing, your team needs to be very, very good at communicating when to disengage, where to be careful at the map, and I don't really think DBL is that team. They have not really pulled off successful split pushes too often. So...
Yeah.
Right now, it does not look really great for Razor, especially as he's not even entering the lane where his lane opponent is at, so he's not even trying to 1v1.
Nope, Null is just on wave clear duty. This isn't... Why pick this AD cannon at this point? What's it doing?
Yeah, not
Getting
a whole
caught?
lot. It's
Looks like it's getting caught.
once again.
Optimus
So
has the
Optimus
package.
wants to go for
Raizo's
the
going to
kill
try
on
and go
capture.
for the outplay, but package gets him too far
How
away.
did he get the kill? That was interesting.
I think,
He got an auto take off while packaging away.
yeah.
Not sure that was possible. Very interesting to see.
Yep. I mean, sometimes we do have to look into. Sometimes that is a little bit of spectator client, and he actually did it just before he
Yeah,
fouled.
that's very possible as well. We have 11
Yep.
stacks on Yijin's book as well, already, so that's
That is a very nice journal.
55 additional AP already. Another
Yep.
amplification secured now, 7% more even on the 55. Don't want to do the math right now. Should be something around 4, pretty much 4. So
Yep.
this Nidalee is very, very strong. Level 14
Absolutely.
already. 3 levels ahead. This is reminiscent of Levi's Karthus play even. Look at the CS.
Yeah. Yeah, it's huge. 60 CS. One question though, like what would Nidalee put in her book? Just like, I don't know, pictures of animals in the jungle?
Pictures of grass, maybe?
Like grass, yeah, maybe?
Yeah. Like, look at all the different
That's probably what-
colors there on the grass.
True, it's pretty biodiverse. Like, the Rift is a very nice place. I'd love to go camping on the Rift. Like, without all the killing.
Yeah, without all the very
Without
dangerous
everything
stuff
that
there.
wants to kill me. Yeah.
I mean,
as long as,
Scuttlecrab
like-
can be there. I'm happy to
Exactly,
meet
I'll
Scuttle.
camp near the river. Yeah, exactly.
And Shelly as well, because as long as you're not angering Shelly, Shelly does not
Exactly,
really do
just
a whole lot.
dance with her. Oh man, you can tell it's been a long night, and we are into a game 3 as we hit a bit of a lull, and once again I completely derailed the cast.
Oh, that's fine. We've hit 20 kills now, so 17 to go.
Yep.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure
it's
we'll
looking
see
less- it's looking
17
less
more
and less
kills.
likely.
Yeah,
'Cause
especially as
if
Flash is
Flash
ahead.
if Flash gets in control, they're so much more just calm and collected compared to DBL. It's a little
At
bit
least we've hit-
unfortunate, but who knows? It's not over.
Yeah, I mean, we have hit 83 kills. That's not bad for a 3-game series. And we'll probably at least see... Yeah, I think we get the 7 to make the 90 complete. So
Sure.
I think 90 should be very easy to achieve. I'm no idea what 90 is, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Look at the 11 stacks on the Athenes. That's very promising.
11-11. I think there's a message there.
1,111. Maybe that's the total kills Heejin secured in his career. Probably not.
Oof. Maybe.
Well,
Never
he
know.
looks. This skin looks very cool with the pink glowing. But look at the fight happening
Yeah.
right now.
Yep. DBL throws himself in. Just no damage follow up there.
Slater doesn't have the range to really follow up.
No.
Still want to chase them, and now maybe a possible Baron call. They don't have a Mountain Drake, so the Baron actually is not too easy to secure for them. But at
Yeah,
least they get
double ADC.
control over the vision, and now it's very dark for DBL around the Baron pit.
Yeah, it is. Null going forward once again forces out the Feather Storm. No impact there from that ult except dodging an E. And I mean, going into the pit is scary against this team. It's a Morgana and a cannon. Like, yes, it's an AD cannon, but it's still a cannon.
Yeah, that's the big problem for Flash. They don't have a Mountain Drake to burst down the Baron right now. No Mountain Drake on the horizon either, so they have to play this game with honest damage on the Baron. Slater once again gets called out. Look at the
Slater getting
damage.
trucked. Null is doing so much work on Slater. Absolutely working him over. This is going to be DBL getting the mid lane tower because Flash was sort of dilly-dallying.
Yeah, and Slater has now gotten caught out by the E from the Nico time and time again.
Yeah, 4 or 5 times.
Disappointed in his positioning or his positional play around, especially Null.
Yep. Optimus getting spotted going back there is actually fairly important. Means DBL could potentially move up to try and secure vision, but doesn't look like they want to. Baron is actually being started here. They're going for the sneak.
Yeah, there's absolutely
Do
no
DBL
reason
sniff
for
this
DBL.
out?
Wow, they should know that it's
Going
happening.
down super quickly. This is
6-5.
going to go down. DBL doesn't know. 4,000.
Yeah, it's gone.
They
It's
know
gone.
now, but it's too late. Yep. Package used just to draw a line, and that's a free Baron picked up for Flash. DBL just not reading the game well enough.
Absolutely not. Caught completely sleeping there, especially Meliodas. He was in close proximity. He had the opportunity to go for the steal. Did absolutely nothing there. And now a Baron for Flash. Even better sieging. You're looking across a Corki and a Zarya. That's a lot of and Nidalee as well. So that's a lot of sieging power. Nidalee with the Lich Bane as well. So
yeah, you don't want to try and defend.
Yeah, this game might just be over in the next 4 or 5 minutes. Dashing Buffalo seem to be out of sorts. They don't really know what to do anymore. They can't really team fight. Don't have the damage right now. Don't have the CC to engage in team fights. A little bit sad to see this series end this way, but at least Flash has really showed up that
Flash
they
is showing
look so
why,
much better.
Flash is showing why you've got to have this good mid game, right?
Exactly.
Lanes aren't enough. Obviously, it's great to have good lanes like DBL does, but I mean, Flash's lanes are no slouch. But you've got to be able to transition it better.
And I mean,
that's what Flash is showing off.
They told the DBL bot lane, we know you picked the counter matchup, but we think we can just scale for late game. As I sadly experienced a few lags, that's very unfortunate. I'm very sorry for that. I'll probably have to reset the stream shortly, so we'll enter a little bit of a radio cast mode. I'm sorry for that, but be with us, please. I'll be back in a minute or so.
It's alright, there's not a huge amount happening here. It is just the waves being pushed out. Not too much being done with this Baron buff so far. We would like to see Flash just grouping up. But so far, they just seem to be happy to play this one slowly. They're not going to take risks. The one thing they do still have to be careful of is the 5v5 from DBL, even from this far behind, is still pretty scary. Morgana, Ken, and Nico, it's pretty spooky to engage on top of, but at some point you do just have a gold lead. And down there, despite the massive numbers advantage for DBL, that is the inner tower going down, Stark up in the top lane, pressuring the inhib turret. They have to send 2 to stop him. They should be able to get a kill on him here. Yeah, he's been completely caught as the Nico ult hits, but in the mid lane, but oh my god, the healing from Stark. Meliodas is nearly dead. Oh no, they can't kill him.
And bot lane is already down.
Healing.
3-lane play from Flash. Have you ever seen that before in the VCS? Very nicely done. This will just be the slow bleed out for DBL. They can't do anything anymore. Flash is too strong, have all hit their item spikes. Look at the ADCs sitting at double or triple crit items. Stark is super strong in the top lane as well. Second inhibitor falls. Will the third one fall as well? Definitely looks that way.
Yep, it definitely does. They're going to just make sure all the boxes are ticked here. We didn't get 100 kills in the series, but we did get a very good game out of Flash. Actually, looks like they'll back off and wait for their double super minion waves, being very careful.
Yeah, another item secured for Slater, so now he's even safer in the next team fight. This time not a 100% crit build for the Zarya immediately. Sometimes you want to get this very early power spike with 100% crits for maximum damage in teamfights. This game they have enough damage on other champs, so you can go for the more safe approach with the Scimitar coming in as a fourth item. Usually I really want to see 100% crit, but I think in this particular game it's fine.
Yeah.
What would need to happen for DBL to be able to win this game? A lot is the
It would
answer,
have
I
to
think.
just be a massive throws,
Yeah.
like just a massive series of throws. This is 3 inhibs down, 10,000 goblin. Like we did see a comeback from this position yesterday, but Flash is much cleaner.
Yeah, and I
Flash
think
won't
the
get let
comp
up
also
here.
was a little bit better for the defending team. They had Sivir, they had good mage as well. I don't quite remember which mage they played in the mid lane. Definitely had the Sivir.
Yeah, they had the Siva. I think it might have been could have been a Corgi. I'm not sure.
Yeah, might have been a Corki Sivir, so almost the strongest DPS late game setup you can go for. But look at the crit on Slater though. Almost 900 damage from Bikoro, trap crit. So if he gets another trap crit, maybe.
Maybe. Big Koro does move forward there, uses the net.
Slater.
Yeah. Yeah, this isn't great. This is the last ditch engage here. Not the way that the Slater really wanted to use the ult there. But in the end, this is game, set, and match. Flash beat DBL.
And a quadra kill for Slater to end the game.
Yeah.
That was actually very, very clean ending to the game. I think all the last 10 minutes were completely in control for Flash. DBL did not find anything to do to approach Flash or even try to interfere with their very clean game plan. And now Flash tied DBL, tied the head-to-head as well, 1-1 between the teams, 7-3, both sides. Are now tied for first place. I think this Flash still has the better game score, so they should technically be ahead when it comes to direct seeding, but both are sitting at 7-3. So very nice to see for the league, to see Flash winning and have a very, very close affair here at the top of the table.
Yeah, insanely close. This was pretty much almost exactly what we wanted to have a very, very fun ending to the split, right?
Absolutely. 4 more series to go for every team. 5 for the teams that play tomorrow, obviously, but 4 for the teams who play today. And DBL and Flash will both still play GUM, so that's another hype setup for the next week.
Yep.
DBL needs to be careful to not fall. I don't think they can fall out of playoff contention, actually.
No.
7-3, so it would be very hard for QG and EVOS, especially after EVOS lost the game, this series against DBL once again. I think they're 2-0 in head-to-head against QG and EVOS, so even if EVOS or QG were able to tie them, still 0-2 in head-to-head, so DBL probably has already secured the playoff, but they want to come in as a 1 or 2 seed, because yeah, you definitely want to secure the higher seeds coming into the playoffs, avoiding the stronger teams. Maybe avoiding GUM.
Absolutely. Yeah, GUM is the one that you definitely want to dodge.
Maybe even avoiding Flash, right? If Flash continues to rise, maybe they are the first place team coming into playoffs. They are 2 world spots.
Yeah.
Flash definitely bringing themselves back into the conversation after some series they struggled, especially against FTV earlier this week.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously that has pretty wide-ranging implications for the ladder, as we've talked about. But just to dwell on the smaller picture, MVP for that game? I know where I'm leaning.
Wow, I actually have no idea who to give the MVP to. I think it's jungle or mid lane, right?
I'm thinking Yijin, yeah.
I think
He had a
Optimus had a
really good.
great game as well. He had the one
I agree.
really big misplay in the top
But I,
lane.
I think Yijin broke the game open though and allowed Optimus. Like Yijin had a really good game and also enabled the rest of the team.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think giving it over to Yijin is absolutely warranted. He locked down the sixth MVP as well. So now we have a leaderboard with Yijin, Artifact, and Big Koro as our number ones right now with 6 MVPs on our stream, followed
Mhm.
by Son on 5, Hero on 5, and someone else? No, that's the 2 players on 5 MVPs. Slater fell behind a little bit. He's still
Yep,
sitting on 4 MVPs, so not the highest rated ADC anymore when it comes to MVP points, but still one of the best for sure.
very true.
And looking ahead, we'll close out the week tomorrow, week 5 obviously, with
Yep.
games between EVOS and QG. That's a super important series. You should definitely watch that one if you care for the playoff seeding, because EVOS and QG are right now sitting outside the playoffs, both sitting at 4 series victories. Whoever wins tomorrow will be at 5-5. Whoever loses tomorrow is probably out of the playoffs, especially
Yep.
if QG is the team losing, because they are 0-2 against EVOS right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super, super important for both teams tomorrow. So we have to see who comes out.
And might not even matter if I look at the standings, because Loki and Dashing Buffalo have already secured playoffs. With the win today, I think Flash has probably locked playoffs as well.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not quite correct. We'll have to double check for tomorrow. Coming into tomorrow's games, we'll definitely have that prepared for you. And then the second series of the day will be Gum against Cerberus. With
I
Gum's
mean,
current form, that should be 20-minute victories for them.
that's going to be Cerberus getting kicked in all three heads.
Absolutely. So, very interesting games coming up tomorrow. Thank you all for
Yeah.
joining us today. If you want to support our work, you can donate. You can also watch the VODs on YouTube. You can see the VODs, not the VODs, the link down in the description of the channel. Thank you every day, and we'll be back tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.